Okay, I welcome all of you once again for this Gita Jnana Yajna called The Power of the Gita. So we've completed chapter 1, 2, and 3. Today we'll contemplate on the fourth chapter. So in each session, we're going deep into the chapter. And of course, we're not going shloka by shloka, but extracting the essence of all the shlokas and maybe encountering a few very important shlokas and understanding them. Today we'll go into the fourth chapter, which has a series of very significant and important teachings by Sri Krishna. So I told you Bhagavad Gita is a teaching. It is Bhagavad Gita su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. It is a Upanishad. And what is the Upanishad? The message of the Upanishad is Tat Tvam Asi. That you are. You think you're an individual. You think you're equivalent to like a wave in the ocean of the world. You feel as an individual. And that feeling of an individual, the thinking of an individual, and the perception of being an individual is illusionary. It is not real, is the message. What you think yourself as an individual is only illusionary. It is only an appearance. It is not reality. Then if that is not reality, what is my reality? And this is in your experience. Like when you're in a dream, you feel you see the whole dream world. And when you experience it, you experience as if it is real. When you wake up from it, you realize neither the dream body was real, neither the people in the dream are real, neither the experiences in the dream are real, neither the loss or the gain or the pain or the joy in the dream was real. None of it was real. Okay, it was just a momentary appearance. So the message of Upanishad is, you are that. You are the supreme reality, which is called Brahman, which is also called as Paramatma. But you feel and you think you are Jiva, individual. Now, with the right process, with the right clarification, with the right vision, you become free from this illusion. And that is why it's called Upanishadsu, because it uplifts you to your true nature. Then Brahma Vidyaya, the teaching is, you are not what you think you are. You're not the body, mind, intellect. You are Brahman, supreme reality. Brahma Vidyaya. And it is Yoga Shastra also. Now, it is Yoga Shastra because this wisdom. So many of us are working professionals here, right? IT people, then practicing doctor, then a few other streams. Now, all these are subjects. So let's take IT, for example, people who code. So I call you and I tell you, please, I've written this line of code. Can you just check it? Can you correct it? Then the person says, no, I did my engineering, but I never got into coding. Okay, never. It was many years ago. 20 years ago, I did my engineering. 15 years ago, I did my engineering, but never wrote a line of code. So the knowledge, when it's not applied, it becomes, there's a mismatch. So Brahma Vidya, what is the application of Brahma Vidya in life, is called Yoga Shastra. Okay, it's not just intellectual knowledge. It becomes Yoga Shastra as Karma Yoga. And that's what Sri Krishna is an embodiment of. He is Brahma Vidya, he is Brahman. But when he interacts with the world, he is full of Karma Yoga. So Brahma Vidyaya for the internal, Yoga Shastra, it's a Yoga Shastra. Bhagavad Gita is not just Brahma Vidya. It also teaches Yoga Shastra. Krishna is giving the message of Yoga Shastra, where he's telling how to apply this science. It's not just theoretical knowledge, it is applied wisdom. So he gives the wisdom to Arjuna, and he also gives the technology and technique to apply that wisdom in the form of Karma Yoga and Yajna, which we covered in the previous chapter. In this chapter also, Krishna talks about Yajna again. I'll take that up again. So Upanishadsu, Brahma Vidyaya, Yoga Shastre, and it's a Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. It's a dialogue between, who is it a dialogue between? It's a dialogue between Bhagavan and Arjuna, Jiva, between Paramatma and Jiva. Now, Paramatma has to speak. The Lord himself has to come and talk about himself. Only then we are able to understand what is consciousness, what is the vision of the divine. So with that, we take up now the fourth chapter, which is called Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga. You're all able to see the screen?
Yes, Guruji.
Okay, so Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga. Karma Yoga is done. Now, Sri Krishna starts teaching the Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga. So, Jnana we know what is Jnana, which is Atma Jnana. Karma we've understood what is karma. Now, Krishna is introducing a new terminology, sanyasa. Okay, Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga. So, what is sanyasa? Anybody know what is sanyasa? Soumitra? If you come to a class after a long time, I'll catch you first for these tests. What is sanyasa?
I think there is a meaning behind that word. I forgot it actually. In Bhautik way, it is like renunciation of all your sensory pleasures actually.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I am not able to recall it, but yes, it is somewhere around the meaning of the. I mean, Sandhi Vishedan has to be done of that word, and there is a meaning behind it actually.
Okay, okay. Anybody else? What is sannyasa? Kavin, what is sannyasa?
I think it's detachment, being detached, or detaching yourself from these earthly pleasures.
Being detached, okay, okay. Any other definition?
Giving up all social ties and material things and focus only on spirituality and self-realization.
Okay, giving up all social ties and leaving all material possessions and giving full time to spirituality. Okay. Any other definition, sannyasa?
I think it's also killing all types of perceptions and conditioning you have so far. So in the whole process of the four ashramas, right? The brahmacharyas, the grihasthashram, vanaprastha ashram. After you have done all your responsibilities, being detached from it, but at the same time, moving out of all those prejudice.
Okay. Killing of all the wrong notions. Okay, so let us understand what is sannyasa. Sannyasa is none of what you said, whatever you the understanding that you or image that you projected. None of that is sannyasa according to Krishna. So what is sannyasa? We'll understand in the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and the next chapter is exclusively for sannyasa. Here in this chapter, the next chapter is called Sannyasa Yoga, chapter number 5. In this chapter, Krishna doesn't directly want to jump from karma to sannyasa. There is a mid part. There is Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and then comes sannyasa. So let us understand what is sannyasa. The first Anita, any definition, sannyasa?
I wanted to give the same definitions that the others have given, Guruji, as in
Copy paste.
that was my understanding. Moving away from grihastha and focusing more on the spiritual journey.
Okay. So everything in spirituality, right, has, I told you, multiple levels of meaning: Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika, and another twofold meaning. One is it has a rudartha. Rudartha means superficial meaning, surface level meaning. Then it has a gudartha. Gudartha means hidden meaning. Okay, a surface level meaning and a hidden meaning. So sannyasa has a superficial meaning, a surface level meaning, and a gudartha. Now, when Krishna speaks, which artha is he talking about?
Gudartha.
Talking about gudartha. Okay, Krishna reveals what is the gudartha of sannyasa. So there were three sannyasis. Okay, the three sannyasis, they're sitting by a river and they're meditating. You heard the story of three sannyasis meditating? The three sannyasis meditating, sitting by a river. Then they're in deep meditation. One of the sannyasi, he opens his eyes and he says, "Oh, I forgot my turn of the stove." So there's a river in front of him and he walks on the water. He goes to the other side, he turns off the stove, he comes back walking on the water, sits in meditation. The second sannyasi again opens his eyes. He says, "I forgot to dry my clothes." Then he walks on the water. Okay, he goes to the other side, he dries his clothes, comes back walking and on the water and sits in meditation. The third sannyasi, he gets jittery. He's disturbed because these two people have now some siddhis, some powers. They're able to walk on the water. And now if he also doesn't walk on the water, he's an inferior practitioner. So he tries to walk on the water. He drowns. Again, he comes back. Again, he sits in meditation. He tells some mantras. Again, he goes. Again, he drowns. Again, he comes back. Again, he tries. He keeps trying, doing this over and over again. Then the first and the second, the guys, they open their eyes. They look at this person. Then the first person tells the second person, "Should we just tell him where the stones are?" Okay. Should we just tell him where the stones are there in the river? They're walking on so they know where the stones are there. And they're walking on the stone. But it appears like they're walking on water. And this person doesn't know. Poor guy, he thinks there's some miracle behind it. And he's trying to walk on the water. So there is underneath, the truth there is solid truth, like a stone. It is very simple. Okay? But when it's covered, you start imagining so many things. So the first thing about sannyasa is there's a covering of the gudartha. So what is the meaning that becomes? First, it becomes this color dress. Okay? Well, I'm not a sannyasi. I'm just wearing this color. Okay? People think, okay, this color dress is sannyasa. Then they think, okay, this person is detached person. Then the person has certain lifestyle. So sannyasa is none of this. Sannyasa is an internal state of the mind. Okay? So somebody said sannyasa is detachment. Right? Detachment. But real sannyasa is to understand my nature is Atma. And Atma is ever unattached. You understand? There's a difference from I am detached to my nature is detachment. Okay? My nature is Atma and I cannot be attached. Is there a difference? to be detached versus attachment is impossibility for me. Okay, that is sannyasa. So sannyasa is an internal state of mind, nothing to do with the external. It's the good artha. Then sannyasa is also a way of life. It is a ashrama. It is a way of life. In the way of life, the person will drop some possessions. The dropping of the possessions doesn't make the person sannyasi. Okay? So for that, there's another story. Have you heard the story of the two monks? So there are two monks in the forest. They are trying to go back to the monastery. It's raining heavily, and there's one beautiful girl there. She wants to cross the road, but it's muddy, and she doesn't want to get her dress dirty. So she requests one of the monk, to carry her and drop her. The younger junior monk, he doesn't even look at her. He's sannyasi. He doesn't even look at her. I don't look at women. Okay. The senior monk, he obliges. He carries her and he drops her to the other side. And they continue to their monastery. This younger guy is now furious. How can you touch? We're not even supposed to look at a woman, but you even touched her. You carried her. Then when they reach the monastery, he asks the question. He breaks in rage. He says, how can you touch her? The senior monk tells, who? Touch whom? That girl who was there, who we left onto the other side. The senior monk says, I left her to the other side of the road. Why are you still carrying her till here? Okay. So sannyasa is not dropping the external. So you have dropped the external, but you have gathered inside. So this younger guy has gathered on the inside. Externally he's dropped, but internally it's still carrying. Okay. So sannyasa is internally dropping. Now, what is this internal dropping? How can I drop internally? Is the contemplation. Is it clear? It is not an externally there is a way of life. Okay, it's a way of life where somebody tells, okay, I don't want to be too much engaged in the society. I want to focus more on spiritual activities. Okay, I don't want to spend my time in survival. I will depend on the society to provide me for my survival through begging or whatever. And I will focus my time on spiritual activity. Now, this lifestyle is not possible for many of us. Okay. So people get dejected. All the scriptures say, without sannyasa, there is no mukti. Okay. No sannyasa, no mukti. Then they start thinking, oh, I will never get mukti because I can never be a sannyasi. I can never live like that lifestyle because I have wife, children, I have family. And even I cannot live that lifestyle because I know I have my internal desires. Okay. Now, when the scriptures say without sannyasa, there is no mukti, which sannyasa they're talking about? Not sannyasa as a lifestyle. The real sannyasa of the internal state of non-possession or the internal state of resting in the self. So there are two things. There is mamakara and ahankara. Okay? Mamakara is mind, feeling of mind. Ahankara is feeling of I. Is it clear? Mamakara, ahankara. Dropping mamakara is what is taught sannyasa. Dropping mine. Okay, my house, my wife, my family, my job. Whatever is mine, if I drop, I am sannyasi. Okay, is what is the rudhartha. Dropping the mind. But you drop the mind, but externally, but the mind but internally you keep accumulating. Okay, the sannyasi or somebody who takes up sannyasa, he drops the external world, but internally it goes on accumulating. Then he's not a sannyasi. But a grihastha, somebody who's married, on the external he's married, but internally has dropped the I. He's a sannyasi. When he's a grihastha, he's a sannyasi. You understand? So a sannyasi has dropped the mind, mamakara, but on the inside he goes on thinking about sex or wealth or possessions. Then is he a grihastha or a sannyasi? He's a sannyasi. But a grihastha, he's a grihastha. But a grihastha, he does all his activity in the world as karma yoga, as yajna, as seva to Bhagavan, and is detached from he knows his nature as Atma, as self. He's a what? Although on the external he's a grihastha, on the internal he's a sannyasi. So when Krishna talks about sannyasa, he is not talking about the external. External, you can fool the world. You can wear a dress, you can wear malas, you can do chanting, you can do whatever spiritual show you can do. But internally, what you possess, how can anybody tell? So Lord is more interested in what? The Gouda, what is inside. And that is why in the previous chapter, he gives the example of Janaka Maharaja as the greatest sannyasi. Now he's telling Janaka Maharaja is the greatest sannyasi. Why? Janaka Maharaja is in the palace. Okay? He's wearing the silk robe and the best of jewels. But he's a sannyasi. Because he has dropped ahankara. You drop mamakara, you drop ahankara. Dropping ahankara is mukti. Dropping mamakara is a way of life. It is just a way of life. So is this clear? Ahankara, mamakara. So people think that dropping mamakara, it's a very great thing. Dropping mamakara, people who have dropped, right? There are many so-called sannyasis that in the world drop mamakara, but that fuels their ahankara. Oh, I have dropped. I am superior. I am a sannyasi. I'm a superior person. So real sannyasa is dropping the ahankara, not the mamakara. So you don't have to worry. Oh, it's so difficult. All the higher spirituality is reserved for sannyasis, all the great people who can drop the world. No. You drop the ahankara. And what is dropping ahankara is to realize that it's not non-existent. Ahankara is, somebody told, Samitra told, no? Killing of the false tendencies and notions. You don't have to kill them. You just have to realize that they're dream. It's like trying to kill a shadow. Okay? What is not there, how can you kill? What is there, you can kill. When you understand that it's not there, it's not real. And that is sannyasa. Okay? Now, how will this happen? How will the sannyasa happen? So, Adi Shankaracharya tells in the Bhajagovindam, Balastaval Krida Sakta. So, you see the child playing with the toys. In the young age, when you're children, your entire center, focus is Krida. Krida is games. Okay, true or false? Balastaval Krida Sakta. You've completely invested in the game. It's such a game that children start fighting. It's a game of whatever, Lego or whatever. Something happens, they start fighting. Okay, it's a deep investment. Then the investment portfolio changes. You change the investment asset. First, the asset is all these toys, small toys. That is your asset. Then the asset type changes. What is the asset type changes? Tarunastaval, Taruni Sakta. Now your asset is the opposite sex. Okay, tarunastaval taruni sakta. That is your asset now. Whatever you have doesn't matter, as long as whatever you have is just only a push towards that. So the investment becomes tarunastaval taruni sakta. Sex, opposite sex. Then first you were playing, your investment was in toys, assets. Now your investment is in maybe beauty and the experiences of the opposite sex. Then the investment changes to what? What happens in the Tarunastaval, Taruni Sakta? Taruna and Taruni get married. The moment the marriage happens, a great disillusionment dawns. Okay? The person is completely disillusioned. What they thought, so ultimately, there's no ROI. You understand ROI? Does everybody understand ROI? What is ROI? Shanti ji?
Return on investment.
इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं ना सब लोग, म्यूचुअल फंड में, कुछ बिटकॉइन में, कुछ गोल्ड में, कुछ लैंड में, कुछ इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. So whenever you invest, you think about ROI. The child invests in the toys and it's high ROI, high rate of return. Okay, return on investment. There's joy and the child plays. Then after some time, so you see the children, you take them to the mall. They want so many things. Okay, what is the return on investment? After 30 minutes, everything will be broken, lying in some corner. They won't even look at it. There's no more ROI. It's over. Now I want the next thing. Okay, return on investment is very less. I want the next thing, next thing, next thing. Last for 30 minutes, 1 day, 2 days. Then tarunastaval taruni sakta. You invest in the opposite sex. Then you get married. Then you understand what is the return of investment. Then you think, this is such a bad investment that I did. Okay, sab itna kuch kiya iske liye, right? That same investment start giving, instead of return of investment, it starts sucking all your other assets. So there's no return on investment in tarunastaval taruni sakta. Then you start investing in, okay, maybe some money will give me something in your actual investments. As a child, you used to play with small assets, car, small car. Now you'll buy big car. Same game, but different scale. Okay. Earlier you're playing with small house, small chota house with the one Barbie. Now you're playing with big house. The big house and big Barbie is there in the house. Okay. Then small Barbies are there running around. So same game at a bigger scale. Just because the scale is bigger, return of investment is not big. Return of investment is worse. Okay. So there's no return on investment. Then comes, you see, money also is not there. What after money, what you'll invest in? What is the final thing that you invest in money? After money? Health. Health becomes most important. First, toys are important. Then sex is important. Then marriage is important. Then money is important. Then finally, health becomes most important. One by one, the body parts start falling. Okay. Then no amount of money can put it back together. Then that becomes the most important investment in life, which is health. But that also slips. There is also no return. How can you get return on investment on health? Okay. Life takes it away. One by one, it starts taking it away. And then finally, death takes everything away. So Shankaracharya tells, Balastaval Krida Sakta. Okay, you invested in Krida, nothing will happen. Tarunastaval Taruni Sakta, you invested in that, nothing happened. Vriddhastaval Chinta Sakta, you only invested in worries. You invested your time in your health, you invested time in relationships, you invested your time in money, nothing worked. There's no ROI. When will you do the right investment? Then he says, Parame Brahmani Kopina Sakta. The only right investment is Parabrahma, your own inner self. When will you invest in that? Parame Brahmani Kopina Sakta. So to do the right investment is called sanyasa. That's why the sanyasa, I've told you many times, in Sanskrit, The word has the meaning. Sanyasa means samyak nyasa. Samyak means right. Okay? Right as in the best. Nyasa means investment. Okay? The word only has the answer. The right investment. What is the right investment you can make in your life? What should be the center of your life? What should be the focus of your life? Okay? Now, you will put anything as focus in the life depending on the ROI. So, after many life, Shankaracharya tells, you come to a maturity where you understand nothing gives ROI. For Prince Siddhartha, he came to this learning very soon. All he had to see is three people. He saw a sick person, he saw ill person, he saw a dead person. That was enough for him to understand the ROI in investing in health, in wealth, in the world. Then he said, I want to invest in something which will give me the highest return, which is freedom from all of this. Then he went in search of that. Okay? So sannyasa means the right investment. In what? In your own inner self. In Paramatma. In Atma. In Brahman. Is it clear? What is sannyasa? Samyak nyasa. Now, how will you validate this for somebody? How can you tell what this person is invested in? How can you tell? You can very well tell when somebody is invested in some object. Okay? So in Delhi, you can, everybody's, it's a very popularly, people who live in Delhi can validate this. So in Delhi, you touch the car a little bit, okay? Then you will know where the person is invested in. Is it true, Biplav ji? कार में से सब निकलेगा, बेसबॉल बैट, क्रिकेट बैट, हॉकी स्टिक, सब निकलेगा ना?
Yes.
तो कहाँ पे इन्वेस्टमेंट है? गाड़ी में. Huh? So some people invest. So you shake that outer a little bit, this person gets disturbed. So you will know where you are invested in when life will shake that outer. Life will always shake. So life has a very beautiful art. It's called hitting where it hurts. Okay, have you heard of it? Hits where it hurts. Other people might not know. You can fool everybody in the world, but you cannot fool life. Life knows exactly what hurts you, and it hits there.
Absolutely.
Huh?
I'm saying absolutely, you're right.
हाँ, तो 20-30 साल में पता चल जाएगा आप कहाँ पे है, आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट कहाँ पे है, right? In 30-40 years of your life, you'll understand where your investment is. Now, life shakes that. It shakes that so that you start putting it in the right place. Don't think life is cruel that it's attacking you. Okay? Life hits, life shakes relationships, it shakes job, it shakes money, it shakes whatever you try to hold on the outside. So whatever you're trying to hold on the outside is like you trying to put your finger into the fan. Okay, the fan is on and you put your finger into that. What happens? Finger gets cut. You're trying to put your finger into something that is moving. That same thing you're doing with your mind. You're trying to put your mind and hold something in a world when it's all changing. The world, everything is changing. Health is changing, relationship is changing, money is changing, the whole order is changing. Now you're trying to hold something in that. Obviously, you'll get hurt. Okay? The hurt is not to hurt you, it is to tell you that this is not the right place of investment. There's another right place of investment. What is that? It is Paramatma. So, what is the right center? What is the right place you can deposit? What is the right place you can invest? Is the meaning of sannyasa. So, to be a sannyasi means to be deposited in Paramatma. It doesn't matter where you are. So in the Mahabharata, there is a story to explain this. There's a rishi, there's a yogi, rather, yogi called Kaushika. The Kaushika rishi, he is yogi, he's sitting in under the tree, he's doing tapas for many years. Then there's a crow comes on that tree and it poops on him, it excretes on him. He opens his eyes and the crow just goes ablaze and it bursts. Okay, it dies. He is very happy. I've attained so much siddhis. If I look at something in anger, it will burn. Then he goes for bhiksha. He's a sannyasi, he goes for bhiksha. When he goes to bhiksha, he goes to the house. The lady of the house, she's feeding the child. She doesn't come out. He's telling Bhavati Bhikshande, Bhavati Bhikshande. She doesn't come. She finishes her job, then she comes. Okay, by now, Kaushika is angry. He's furious and he looks at her like this, like how he looked at the crow. That lady smiles and she tells, I am not a crow to get burnt by your anger. He gets shocked. How did this lady, ordinary lady, come to know what I did in the forest? Okay, then he asks her, how do you know that? She tells, Swamiji, you are doing tapas in the forest. I am doing tapas right here in my house. Okay, you have left your wife, your children, your house, your society. I have left my doership. Okay, you have left your mamakara. I have left my ahankara. You understand? And that same being a grihastha, taking care of the child, taking care of the house, doing whatever she needs to do, fulfilling her responsibilities, she has attained the highest. Okay, this is one of the illustrations in the Mahabharata of how people misunderstand sannyasa to be something external. But the reality is samyak nyasa, right deposit. Being wherever you are, you can be deposited. Where have you deposited? Now, what is the highest you can deposit? You can deposit in Paramatma. And what is the meaning of to deposit in Paramatma? Is to deposit in Atmano Mokshartam and Jagaditaya. And that is what is the life of a Gnani. Atmano Mokshartam, that is realization, deposit in realization, enlightenment, and deposit in service, selfless service, karma yoga. Is it clear? What is sannyasa? So is it clear? So you have to see, where have you deposited? What is your inner deposit? And whatever is your inner deposit reflects in the hurt and the experience that you have in life. When you have the right deposit, which is in Paramatma, then you become free from all hurt. Okay? Atmano Mokshartam. Now you are liberated because you have not dropped Mamakara, but you have dropped Ahankara because of the realization of Paramatma. And with that realization, you interact with the world with the attitude of Karma Yoga. In the attitude of Karma Yoga, nothing that happens on the external can affect you. So how I explained in the previous session, we went detail into what is Karma Yoga. So depositing in Atmano Mokshartam Jagaditaya. Is it clear? What is sannyasa? Any doubts? Soumitra, Kavin, Suman, Seema, Anita, Mayuri. Clear? Prasad ji.
Yes.
Yes, Guruji.
So are you a sannyasi or are you a grihastha? Okay, a grihastha can be a sannyasi if the inner state of mind if your inner self is deposited in the right place. The mind is focused on Atmano Mokshartam Jagaditaya. By being a grihastha, you are sannyasa. Sannyasa is not possible for many people because it's a different lifestyle. Okay, and the society has to be conducive for that. So society has to be in a state where the society tells, it allows some individuals to take that path, okay, on the external. But a grihastha can be a sannyasi with the right inner deposit. A sannyasi who's taken the external sannyasa but has not matured can be a grihastha even though he's a sannyasi. So these 4 ashramas, there are 4 ashramas. They're called ashrama. Okay. Ashrama means, shrama means stress, strain. Ashrama means where there is no stress and no strain. It's called ashrama. Is ashrama clear? Ashrama means where there is no stress, no strain. So people, when they want peace, want to meditate or want peace, they start looking for ashrama. Without realizing where they are is ashrama. Okay, if the mind is peaceful, stress-free, then you are in ashrama. Where you are is ashrama. But on the external, there are 4 ashramas: brahmacharya, grahastha, sanyasa, vanaprastha. So I told you what is sanyasa. And we know what is grahastha. Brahmacharya is the mind is stress-free and in ashrama, without shrama and stress. When the mind is moving towards Brahman, that's called brahmacharya. Brahmani charitam manasam. Charya means to move. Okay? Brahman means supreme reality. When your mind moves toward Brahman, what are you? You're a brahmachari. You can be a grihastha on the external. You can have a family, children, everything. But if your mind is moving towards Brahman, you're a brahmachari. So please understand, when the scriptures speak, when the Jnanis speak, they never, ever, ever speak about the superficial. But people only think about the superficial. I was we were staying many years ago, 6 years ago, we were staying near a field. Opposite to our house, there was a school field. So in the school field, there was some annual day program going on. And they had invited some senior person to give a talk. This person was giving a talk, and he was trying to tell the children about the glory of Sanatana Dharma and what kind of wisdom is there. And he was giving an explanation of Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, and Adhyatmika. Okay. First, he started with Adi Bhautika. The statement he made, I still remember the very words that he said. The Adi Bhautika perspective of life is all about the bhutas and pretas. There are so many ghosts in the world, and we need to acknowledge them. This is the meaning he gave for Adi Bhautika. So, without the right wisdom, there's a lot of whenever you see the word bhuta, people think ghost. Okay. Whenever you think rishi, people think beard. Whenever you hear the word sannyasi, any word that you hear, first you objectify it. Okay. The moment you objectify it, you are far away from the truth. Okay. Because what that scripture is saying, what the Gnani is saying, has nothing to do with object. It's to do with subject. Is it clear? Now, this misunderstanding of what is brahmacharya, what is grihastha, what is sanaprastha, what is sannyasa, distorts people's lives. Okay. So one day there was a very old, he must be about more than 70-year-old person. He had taken sannyasa very, very long time ago. Okay. Then the Guruji is giving talk. After all, everybody's left, this person goes to the Guru and he tells, and he's a very senior person. He has many students, he has an ashram and everything. And he's a sannyasi. He's taken sannyasa at a very young age. He tells, can I confess to you something honestly? The Guru says, go ahead. and it's a real scenario, okay? It's not a hypothetical situation. It's a real thing that happened. Then he tells, I want to confess something because you caught that. I could see that you caught it in my eye. When you looked at me, I felt caught. And the Swamiji tells, the sannyasi tells, I've taken sannyasa 40 years ago. Okay? At a very young age, I took sannyasa 40 years ago. It's been 40 years. But till today, I'm at the age of 70, till today, I fascinate about sex. Okay? This person is a sannyasi on the external, but internal, that vasana, the desire, the unfulfilled desire, possesses him. Okay? So spirituality is about, has nothing to do with the external. It is an internal maturing. Okay? An internal fulfillment, an internal opening up. Is that clear? It has nothing to do with what you do on the outside. Whatever you do on the outside, it doesn't matter. Okay? As long as it is dharmic, whatever you do on the outside in the dharmic way, it doesn't matter. Then on the internal, you can be deposited in the highest. Is it clear before I change the topic? Before we go into the shlokas of the chapter? Is sannyasa clear, everybody? Kavin?
Yes, Guruji.
Sheshariji, sannyasa clear? So you don't have to feel sad, I can't take sannyasa. There is no doubt a lot of glory with sannyasa. The color of the dress, the thought of, oh, aage koi nahi hai, piche koi nahi hai. Right? That's what all the grahastha dream about. I'm suffering here with my wife and my spouse. That fellow is relaxed. Nobody is there to ask him. He can go anywhere he wants. He can travel the world. I have to take 10 permissions even if I have to go 2 kilometers. Okay, all that is just fascinations. None of it is real. So the scriptures are here to tell, wherever you are, if you're deposited internally in the right place, you are a sannyasi. Shesharji, you had a question? Okay. So sannyasa is, you can drop the mind, mamakara, or you can drop the I, ahankara. The mind is very easy to drop. Okay, I have a car, I renounce it. Okay. On the external, it's very easy to do. That's why people do it. Okay, I have a family, I can leave my family. Very easy to do. But the mamakara, can you drop from the inside? Can you drop the mamakara? This is my body. Can you drop the thoughts, the feelings? And what ultimately needs to be dropped is the false notion of I. Who am I? So the I gets dropped when you inquire into the I. When you ask the question, that's why Ramani Maharshi said, inquire, who am I? Who am I? When you inquire, who am I? The I drops on its own. It's like catching the thief. It's like illuminating the shadow. There's nothing there. When you inquire, you see there's nothing there. So sannyasa is not about dropping mind. Sannyasa is about dropping I. And realizing that I don't need to be detached. Okay? My nature itself is asanga. So it's where asangoham, asangoham, asangoham punapuna. My nature is detachment. How can I be attached when I am the self? If I am the self, there is no other object to be attached to. To have attachment, there should be two. There should be dvaita. When there is no two, is attachment possible? Attachment is an impossibility when there is no two. It's like water trying to tell, it's like the wave trying to tell, I need to be detached. When the wave realizes it's water, what is the question of detachment? Everything is water. You understand? When you realize you are Paramatma, then the duality disappears. When there's no duality, there's no attachment possible. Is it clear? This is one of the paradoxes in spirituality. The paradox is, you want to become detached, but the reality is you can't be attached. Okay, people talk about vairagya. You have heard the word called vairagya? That is why vairagya people misunderstand. People tell vairagya means detachment. I need to be detached from the world. ये मोह माया से दूर रहना है. Okay, अरे मोह माया है. It's not real. How can you be? It's like telling in the dream, I am attached to the dream money. You're not, because you know it's not real. There's no two. The object is not real. How can you be attached? So vairagya means vairaga. Raga means attachment. Vairaga means special attachment. Special attachment to what? When the child is playing, you try to take away the toy, the child will create a fuss. Right? Shesharji, your son is playing on PS2. You take away the joystick, then he will burn the house. Okay? But you allow him to mature, he will drop the toy. Okay? Now he's got some bigger toy. Okay, when he was a small boy, he was playing with toy car. When he's matured, now he wants to play with big car. Then you take that small toy car, he'll tell what nonsense is this. Right? Now he has got attached to a higher. The attachment to the higher by default creates detachment from the lower. That's called vairagya. Vairagya means you are attached to Paramatma. Because you are attached to a higher, Vishesha Raga, you have Vishesha Raga, special Raga. And because of that special Raga, you don't care about lower things. Is it clear? Is it making sense? Everybody? Okay. Now, chapter 4. What does chapter 4 entail? Chapter 4 covers these main themes. One is, it first talks about the tradition of teaching. Then the main teaching of chapter 4 is about avatar consciousness, which we'll understand today. What is avatar consciousness? Then Sri Krishna talks about, again he talks about action, inaction, and going beyond action. Then he talks about how this knowledge is attained. What is the process of attaining knowledge? And what are the qualifications for receiving the knowledge? So this we will go through in the 4th chapter. So the first shloka in the 4th chapter is Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan ahamavyavam vivasvan manave praha manurikshva kave bradit. So Krishna so far has been giving the wisdom to Arjuna. First he addressed Arjuna's depression. Then he told about Sankhya Yoga. He gave him Atma Gnana. Then he told him Karma Yoga. Then he elaborated in detail about Karma Yoga and he told him about Yajna. Now Krishna tells Arjuna, please don't think I am telling you all of this. Okay? Now he's giving authenticity to the teaching. It's like this. You have, let's say, you need to go to the doctor. You will always see you'll first take a reference. Okay, is this a good doctor? Then somebody known has got treatment. What is the pedigree of the doctor? Which university has come from? Okay. Whenever you hire people, whenever companies hire people, they see the portfolio, resume, right? Then if the resume says tier 1 colleges, IIT and IIM or top Harvard or whatever, then straight away, please come. Right? Then the tier 2 colleges, there's more grilling. Tier 3 colleges, many companies don't even, they have a algorithm to reject tier 3 colleges. Right? Your company does that, Shishari? No. So people look whenever they are hiring somebody or you want to take some service or some professional, you look at the background, right? Some credibility. Now Krishna is trying to tell, whatever I'm telling you, don't think I'm just telling you arbitrary. This is the highest wisdom from a tradition. It's coming from a parampara and I'm giving that to you. Okay, it is not some teaching that I'm cooking up right now. And he's telling the history of what he is teaching. He tells, Imam Vivasvate Yogam. Whatever I'm teaching you now, I taught this first during the beginning of the creation to Vivaswan. Vivaswan is sun, the sun lord, God's son. So I thought it is sun. And then it was passed on by sun, the Surya, to Manu. Manu is the first human being. Have you heard of this person called Manu? There's a Manu Smriti. Okay, Manu is, so in the Philippines constitution, there's a term that acknowledges Manu, as Manu is the forefather, the ancestor, the first of all humans. Most of us have heard about Adam and Eve, but we have not heard about Manu. Manu is the first born. Okay, so from Surya Narayana, it came to Surya. From Surya, it came to Manu. From Manu, it came to Ikshwaku. Ikshwaku is the Ikshwaku dynasty, is the king Ikshwaku. Why it should come to the king? Because Yatha Raja Tata Praja. The wisdom was passed on to the king first, so that the whole kingdom is enlightened. Okay, and then it got passed on to many, many people. And now I'm giving you the wisdom. Now I told you, I've always been telling, there are 3 levels of meaning: Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. Now Krishna is talking about which level meaning? When he says, I have taught Surya, it is the Adi Bhautika and Adi Daivika meaning. So Paramatma, he took the form of the Guru and he gave the teaching to Surya. Okay. And then it came to Manu, the next enlightened being. From that enlightened being got passed on to Ikshwaku. Okay. Ikshwaku is the king, enlightened king. Then it got passed on. Then the parampara continued. Guru Shishya parampara, passing off wisdom. The same shloka has a Adi Adhyatmika meaning. At the Adhyatmika level, the Surya represents the Atma Jyoti inside you. Vivaswan. Okay, the Atma Jyoti inside. The Atma Jyoti illuminates the Manu. Manu is the individual, the human. Okay, the wisdom gets passed on to the mind, Manu, mind. Then the wisdom is established in Ikshwaku. Ikshwaku also means Ikshwa, the king. That is called Agna Chakra. Okay, so the wisdom and the teaching of the Guru, the external Guru, the Sadguru gives the teaching. Then the inner Atma, inner light is awakened. Inner Guru is awakened. When the inner Guru is awakened, the wisdom starts spilling over into the mind. The mind becomes purified. The mind becomes still. Okay. Now, the Vasanas who had taken control, the Rakshasas were the king now. Now, the Ikshwaku becomes the king, the enlightened master. That's why it's called Agna Chakra. Agna is a ruler. Now, the kingdom becomes Ikshwaku. Your life becomes led by the enlightened king. Okay. This is the Adi Adhyatmika meaning. Is it clear? The Guru Parampara. So, Krishna is telling, Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu Sakalene Mahata Yogo Nashta Paramtapa. Meaning, this is how it was passed on from master to disciple, master to disciple, master to disciple. Then, over a period of time, it got disturbed because of whatever reason. Maybe there was war on the external. Maybe there was war. Maybe the Gnanis were not getting the right disciples. For whatever reason, in time it got dissipated. Okay. Then whenever that happens, again it is revived by the Guru. And this wisdom I am giving you again. So Krishna is telling whatever I'm telling you now is not something new. So please understand, there can never ever be a person in the world who will come and tell, I have realized something new that nobody has ever realized, and I will teach you. That is an impossibility. Whatever is spoken, whatever is taught, whatever is realized has already been passed on. It's already being circulated in the Guru Shishya Parampara. There is no new realization possible. Every realization is the same realization, that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am Atma. Every realization, same realization. People can come up with different methods of teaching, but still it will fall under the framework of this parampara, some parampara. Okay? When Krishna tells this, Arjuna gets a doubt. Krishna, what are you saying? You're standing in front of me and you're telling you thought sun at the beginning of creation. How is this possible? You're telling me something that I don't understand. You're telling me you're teaching me something that you thought sun a very long time ago. How is that possible? Okay? Because I know you. When the Mahabharata war happened, Arjuna was around 90 years old. Okay? Krishna must have been around 100 years old. Bhishmacharya was around 300 years old. Okay? So Arjuna is saying, I have been seeing you. Okay? I know you from a very long time. How can you make such claims that I thought the sun? Then Krishna tells Arjuna, you and I have had many, many, many births. Okay? You don't remember them, but I remember all my births because I am Ishvara. I am the Lord. I know all my births, and you don't remember them. Now Krishna talks about avatar consciousness. What is an avatar? So we've heard of this term called avatar. Okay? Anybody knows what is avatar? Don't tell the movie Avatar. What is avatar?
Incarnation.
Incarnation. Okay? What is the meaning of incarnation? So avatar is the incarnation where the supreme reality, Bhagavan, Ishvara, takes a human form. Now you also are incarnation. You are also incarnation. Lord is also incarnation. Something that is beyond body gets embodied. Now there's a difference between the body of the Jiva and the body of the avatar. The body of the Jiva is called Karma Deha. It's made up of karma. What karma? Prarabdha karma. So whatever the prarabdha is, your balance, out of that a body is formed. Okay? And now the body is formed, it is dependent on Vyashti and Samashti. Vyashti means individual, Samashti means universal. Okay? Now for you to be born, your Vyashti Vasana, if it has to manifest, it has to match with the Samashti Vasana. For example, let's say you have a tendency, somebody has a tendency of, somebody is a Kshatriya. Okay? Now, for that person to be born, that person at the Samashti level, a war should be cooking. You understand? Because if he takes a birth, his vasanas won't get fulfilled. The Samashti and the Vyashti both have to match, and then a karmic body is created. Do you understand this? So you are born now simply because whatever your vasanas are can get fulfilled in the Samashti right now. The world is conducive to your inner aspirations and desires. Okay. And depending on that, so let's say somebody has a mukti vasana, somebody has done a lot of sadhana. And that because of now the next fulfillment is they need to get a sadguru. Now that is not individual, that is samashti. So you will have to wait until the samashti allows it, when there is the guru will be born and the guru will be awakened, and then there is a meeting of you and the guru possible. So vyashti and samashti together match, and then a jiva is created. It's called body of karma. Is this clear? First part? Any doubts so far? Okay. Now, but the difference in when Krishna is born or an avatar is born, avatar has no vyashti vasana. There's no individual. Okay. The birth of the avatar is only because of samashti vasana. Collectively, there's a deep calling in the universe for the Lord to take birth and to uplift mankind. Then the Lord takes a birth, human birth. You understand? And then you will ask, oh, then, and avatars are many. Don't think that there's only 10 avatars, Dasha avatar. That is only to explain and give context. But avatars are many, many avatars are there. Many types of avatars, many, many avatars. When the universal takes an individual form and to uplift the universe. Why avatar takes a birth is, Krishna answers, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam shajamyaham paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. This is the answer he gives. Why? How I told you. Is the how clear? Is the how part clear? So what makes the jiva's body is the past karma. Okay. Let's say the past karma, you've done some papa. Now that has to come back to you. The karmic body will enable that by putting you in a space which has certain genes, which will create some certain diseases. Okay. That way the karma comes back. That's why it's called body of karma. Then there's a body of dharma, which is the avatar's body. Avatar's body is body of dharma. Now, what is the material that the Lord uses to make that body? For your body, what material is used? Karma is used, your past karma, whatever you have done. Of all the lifetimes, good and bad, whatever you have done, that culminates as prarabdha and creates this karmic body. For Krishna, it's a dharmic body. And what makes the dharmic body? What is the material used for the dharmic body? Because there's no karma. What is used is all the dharmic activity that you do. People have done. Okay? All the havans, the homa, the yajna, the seva, the teaching, whatever nishkama karma people have done, the samashti uses that and builds a avatar body. That is why an avatar always has an influence over a lot of human beings. It's a samashti influence. Okay? As a jiva, you can only influence a few people. As an avatar has an influence on millions and millions of life for time immemorial. Krishna, for example, Krishna was there 5,000 years ago. Through his dharmic body, whatever he did, 5,000 years later also we are benefiting from that. You understand the difference between dharmic body and karmic body? That is the how the avatar happens. Now, why the avatar happens? Why God has to come? Why Lord has to take a birth? First of all, is it possible that the Lord can take a birth? In many parts of the world, societies, it is considered blasphemy to tell such a thing, that Lord will take a human birth. Okay? But Krishna tells, Paramatma tells, of course I take a birth. Even yada yada hi dharmasya. Whenever there's decline of dharma, abhyutthanam adharmasya, whenever adharma is going way too high. To restore balance in the society, tadatmanam shrajamyam. I come and restore balance in the society. Now, this happens at various levels. One, as an avatar like Krishna, and two, as an avatar like Gnani. Okay. If I have to give an example of avatar, I would say it's, for example, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who is called Yuga Avatar. Okay, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is called Yuga Avatar. So he's worshipped as, repeat after me, Avatar Parishtaya Ramakrishnaya Avatar Parishtaya Ramakrishnaya. So Ramakrishna Avatar, when during the time of Ramakrishna, India was under the British rule. Okay, and what is the society? The society was Indians were weak slaves. Then through his awakening and his teaching, he passed on the wisdom to Swami Vivekananda, and Vivekananda inspired the whole country to fight for freedom. It happens at various levels. Okay, at an individual level, yada yada hi dharmasya means whenever individually in your own being adharma rises and dharma falls, then to restore the balance, the avatar will come in form of Guru and awaken the inner Guru in you. So this is the Adi Adhyatmika meaning. So at a society level, to bring the change, at an individual level, to bring the change. Lord takes the avatar. Paritranaya sadhuna, to protect the sadhus, to protect the saints. Vinashaya chadushkritam. Lord also has imposed a task upon himself to destroy the evil. So you'll think, why Lord does such a horrible thing? He kills people. So it's like this. Think of the society like a body. And the body has, let's say, a cancer. The Lord plays the role of a surgeon and removes the cancer to restore the balance and bring back the body to health. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chadushkrita. And then dharma samstapana sambhavami yuge yuge. Again and again, the Lord takes birth for dharma samstapana and gnana samstapana. So two tasks. So during the Mahabharata, there were two avatars. There were many avatars, but popularly two avatars. One is Krishna avatar. Krishna avatar is for dharma samstapana. Okay, Krishna is there. His main focus is to destroy the evil and establish dharma, Pandavas, into the rule. There was another avatar whose job was establishing Jnana. Who was that? It is
Vyasa.
Sri Vedavyasa Maharshi. Okay? So it's Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya, Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. Sri Vedavyasa Maharshi's job was to establish Jnana. Krishna's job was to establish Dharma at the society. So, Dharma Samstapana and Gnana Samstapana at a global scale. And whatever the avatar does, it's global scale. So another example of avatar is Sri Mata Amritanandamayi. Okay? Whatever she does, it has a huge impact on thousands and millions of lives. And that power, because the body is not an individual body. It is not a Veshti body. Veshti Vasana. It is Samashti Vasana. It is a body of Dharma. Another, that is the how and the why. Then the qualities, there are certain qualities of the avatar. Unlike, so so this is the story of the Krishna is born in the jail. When Krishna is born in the jail, the Vishnu appears to mother and the father, Devaki and Vasudeva. He tells, I am going to be born as your child. Okay? Now, when Krishna takes a birth, there's a difference. Krishna tells, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. He tells, Janma karma cha me divyam. If you understand my birth and my karma, my actions, then you will not have another birth. You will become free. You will realize me. Okay? This is very weird. If you understand my birth, what is there to understand his birth? He is born in a prison. What is there to understand that? The difference is when Krishna is born, he knows that he is birthless and deathless. He knows he has no ignorance. He knows I am Atma. An avatar has no ignorance. From birth, there is knowledge of the self. Okay? That is Janma. Janma is he knows that I am not taking birth. Okay? I have no birth, I have no death. But when you are born, you are also actually that. You are also birthless, deathless. But you think you are being born and you keep celebrating your birthday also. To make things worst, every year you go on reinforcing, I am born, I am born, I am born. Okay? Where Krishna knows that I am birthless and deathless. I am Atma. That is Janma. What is the secret of Krishna's, to understand Krishna's Janma? To know that I am birthless. Okay, that doesn't mean you stop celebrating your birthday. Continue the birthday celebration, but know that I am birthless. I am Atma. Atma is birthless. And Atma is also deathless. Okay? The body takes the birth and the body dies. I am not the body. I am birthless and deathless. Then karma. You understand my karma, Krishna tells. What karma? Throughout his life, Krishna did not do karma. He did karma yoga. He showed the world karma yoga. He was an example of karma yoga. He was an embodiment of karma yoga. So to give an example of Mata Amritandamayi, so there was one event that was happening in the ashram, in the Kerala, and many people had come, delegates from all across the world, and so many people. Then everybody is waiting for Amma to come on stage. She's never late. Then today she's not there, she's not coming. And her close people also, they don't know where she is. They're trying to find her. Then they found her, you know where? They found her in the sewage. In the sewage, she was working, she was cleaning up. Then people went to her and told, what are you doing? Okay, there are so many people waiting for you. She said, the toilets are clogged. There's so many people coming into the ashram. Of course, there are so many other people helping, but she's also getting her hands dirty. She's saying there's so many people, they'll get affected tomorrow. The toilets will be blocked. There'll be a big problem. And she's doing the work hands-on. Okay? That is, she's showing karma yoga. Okay, not talking about karma yoga. She doesn't talk about karma yoga. She doesn't talk about love. She shows it. She lives it. Okay? She radiates it and she inspires it. That is what an avatar is. Avatar is not theoretical knowledge. Krishna is not theoretical knowledge. He lives karma yoga. He is on the battlefield. Okay? He is chariot. He talks it. He lives whatever he talks. And that is what that is karma. It is not individual action. It is a divine action. It's a non-doership. It is a flow of the divine. So to understand the birth and action of the avatar, of the Krishna, of the Gnani, will awaken you, will help you realize that I am not the body. I am also not the mind. I am also not the doer. It is the Lord who is doing through me. Okay? That is Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam. So Krishna tells, I am not telling you now. And when I tell, I have thought, son, I have had many lives. Okay? I am not this physical Krishna. I am Paramatma. And as Paramatma, I taught the son. So he's telling all of this to explain to Arjuna who he is. And he is avatar consciousness. Now, who are you? You are also an avatar. But you are sleeping to your true nature. You understand? Then Krishna tells, shloka number 10. Now I am the Lord. I've taken a birth, and people worship me in many ways. The gopis worship me in some way. The gnanis worship me in some way. Somebody else worship me in some way. In whatever way people worship me, in that way I will respond to them. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajamiham mama vartman vartante manushya partha sarvasha. In whatever way you relate to me, I will respond to you in that way. So then people ask, okay, whatever way people worship, and Krishna tells, everybody worships me without exemption. Okay, then you'll ask, oh no, I know my friend, he's an atheist, he's a non-believer. Okay, he doesn't believe in God. That person also worships. What does he worship? He or she worships the material nature of God. For when the person is telling consciousness is not real, material is real. Material is the ultimate reality. So he or she is worshipping the material reality, and Lord will respond in that way. Okay, whatever way you worship. Worship means whatever you hold as the higher. For some people, nature is the highest. For some people, science is the highest. For some people, money is the highest, greatest. In whatever form you worship, and whatever you are worshipping is on Lord only. There's nothing else apart from Lord. Okay? In whatever you worship, you're worshipping the Lord. Okay? That's why it said, Sarva Deva Namaskaram Keshavam Pratigachati. Like how all the rivers go to the ocean, all that you bow down to goes to Lord Himself. And in whatever way you worship, with whatever attitude you worship, with that will be resonated back to you. So I explained to you the reasons for avatar, the how and the why. Is the how and the why clear? To protect the righteous, to kill the evildoers. And whenever Lord takes a birth and he does so many things. Krishna does so many things, but he's not doing anything. He's akarta. He knows that he is not the doer. And he has no birth, he has no death, he is Atma. So I also gave you the example of Sri Mata Amritangamai. So she does a lot of actions, but in all her actions, there is no action. So next sloka, next topic that Krishna takes up is action, inaction, and going beyond action. So before I start this, is the avatar clear? Avatar consciousness clear, everybody? Suman,
Yes,
Shesha,
Guruji.
Shantiji, Kavin, Saumitra, Anita.
Yes, Guruji.
Yes.
Saumitra, any doubts? Avatar consciousness clear?
Yes. All good.
So you look at the life of such great beings, then you see the tremendous love, compassion, which is overflowing for the whole universe. That is a higher consciousness. It has a capability to uplift thousands of lives. That is higher consciousness. Okay? Ordinary, no extraordinary powers. Ordinary people, but the avatar consciousness, there's no inner doer. It is a Lord who does all the action. Now, let us come to the topic of action, inaction, and going beyond action. Krishna tells, in the context of the avatar, that Arjuna, I do so many things, but I do nothing. I do everything, but I do nothing. So, and he says, the one who is able to see action in inaction and inaction in action, he is the awakened one. Okay, now let us understand what is this seeing action in inaction, inaction in action. So action, we know when you do, what is action? In that, what are the parts of the action? Action is there is a doer, there is a deed, and there is an action. For example, in a painting, there's a painter, somebody who does the painting. There is the painting itself, the process of painting, and there is a painting, the end result painting. Is it clear? Doer, deed, and the result. Any doubts in that? The doer is the painter, the one who's painting. The deed is painting, the action of painting, and the painting, the end result is painting. So whenever somebody is doing the action, if he or she realizes or questions who is the doer, the painter realizes the question, who is the doer? When the deed is happening, when the painter is painting, actually there's no doer. When the musician is singing, there is no singer. When the programmer is coding, there is no doer. When any action is happening, it is a happening. Okay? There is no doer. Only when the action happens, done, then the doership comes. Then the ego comes and tells, I did it. Do you understand that? When the action was happening, there was no I thought. It was just happening. Okay? Can the action happen without I thought? All actions happen without I thought. Whenever you're actually doing something, there's no I thought. It just there's a happening. Action happens. Then after you've done the action, then the I thought comes. I did this. Do you understand? So during that, then there is no three actually. There is no doer. You have removed doer. Now what is there? Deed is there. The deed only is there. The deed is a pure happening, the movement of energy. Then there is a result. The result, the doer comes and claims, this is good or this is bad, or the painting is good, or painting is bad. So in Agnani, there is a doership. I am doing. And the doership distorts the action, and the result, you have an attachment. Krishna tells you need to move from that to Karma Yoga. In Karma Yoga, you realize that I am not the doer. Action happens because it is divine action. All actions are divine action. It is a happening. Okay? Even when I am inactive, there is action happening. So you say, I won't do any action. I just sit silently. Even then there is action happening. So to see in inaction the action happening, and in the action happening, to see that there is no doer. There is nobody who is doing it. It's just happening. That is wisdom. Okay? As somebody who is able to see that in all the action, there is no doer. And in all the inaction, there's so much action happening. There's no stillness. That person is a Gnani. And Krishna tells, the one who's able to see action in action, inaction is action, he has become beyond action. He's become akarta. He is a non-doer. No matter, even though he's doing something, whether he's doing something or not doing something, he is a non-doer. Whether he's active, like he tells, like me, I'm active. Whether I'm active or not doing anything, I am beyond action. You understand? But Agnani, whether he is doing something or not doing something, the mental action goes on happening. And there's a sense of doership. And there's a owning up of all actions. So Krishna's message is, realize that the action happens on its own. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. In your delusion, you think you are doing the action. But it's all happening. It's like the drunkard, the two drunkards who are going back home. And the first drunkard is telling, hey, I think the moon is following us. Okay? The trees are all following us. Wherever we're going, they're following us. Then the second drunkard tells, I have bigger problems. The road is following us. The road is coming wherever we are going. So nothing is moving, nothing is going anywhere. But in the intoxication, you see that which is not there. In your intoxication of ignorance, where there is no actor, where there is no doer, you see a individual doer. There is no individual doer. Krishna tells, Prakritehe Kriyamanani. Everything is a universal action. Is that clear? Now Krishna talks about how am I able to realize this? How am I able to come out of my sense of doership? How can I come out of it? How can I get this wisdom? How can I? Because I have to do action. Every time I do action, I only feel I am doing it. And because I feel I am doing it, I incur papa and punya. And again, I'm in the cycle. Again, that pushes me to more action. And my vasana, I am overcome by vasanas, my impressions, which are my programs basically, which are pushing me into actions and are keeping me in the same loop, same cycle. How do I come out of it? Krishna tells, again, he brings the clarity on Yajna. So in the previous chapter, we spoke about Yajna. Here I'll give a different, another meaning of Yajna. So you see here, this person, there's a field. And in the field, the person is sowing seeds. Each seed that he sows gives some fruits, crops. Okay? And each of them give multiple more seeds and more fruits. And the cycle is endless. Okay? Now, this is in the field of life, the creation is like a field. There you act. Then with your intentions, with your thoughts, with your actions, you are sowing many seeds. Every time you think, every time you act, you interact with the world with a sense of individuality, with a sense of doership, you are sowing seeds. And they will create result. They'll create fruits. And how are these fruits? They're endless. They go on, you go on, they keep on giving fruits, and you go on again creating action. So this is called samsara, an endless cycle of life, action, result, death. Again, because of the past momentum, there's so many seeds pending. Again, it will create another body. Again, action. Again, result. Again, life. How do I come out of this? Okay. Now I've already put some seeds that have brought me here. And there are already some seeds waiting to give me fruits. The only way out is with the attitude of Yajna. Now, with the Yajna Bhava, I can burn and I can come out of this cycle. I can purify myself. How? With the attitude that whatever I'm going to do now, I'm doing it as an offering to the Lord. Okay? And whatever I'm going to offer, it is for the world. So what is the offering? The example for that, there's a 90-year-old man, okay, almost on his deathbed. He goes into the garden and he puts a mango seed. Then all the family people, the young grandson and great-grandchildren, they laugh at him. What are you doing, grandpa? You will never be able to eat those fruits. The grandpa says, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for whoever benefits in the future. So that is Yajna Bhava. Whatever I'm doing now is an offering to the existence. And whatever action I do with the attitude of Atmano Mokshartham and Jagadhitaya. And that will uplift me, that will purify me. And Krishna gives various examples of Yajna. He tells people do various types of Yajnas. Don't think Yajna means is this or that. Just, there are people who just offer their breath to the Lord. whatever I am breathing, the breathing is happening, and I have feeling I am breathing. Lord, I offer that to you. People do pranayama, I offer that to Lord. That becomes yajna. People say, Krishna tells, there are people who perceive the world, they see, they hear, they taste, they smell, they touch, and they tell, whatever I perceive, whatever my sense organs contact and enjoy, I offer that to the Lord. So he gives various examples: Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajna. Right? People do yoga, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, and that they offer to the Lord. So in the previous chapter, he did not give types of yajna. In the Karma Yoga, he only gave the principle of yajna. In chapter number 4, Krishna talks about types of yajna. He tells Dravya Yajna, then Tapo Yajna. People do austerities, that they offer to me. People do yoga, that they offer to me. People do swadhyaya, they study something, and that they offer to me. And whatever they offer, I accept and I purify them. So the end result of yajna is what? Chitta Shuddhi, purification. Okay? And that purification purifies your sense of doership. Then Krishna goes on to explain a few other types of yajnas. Then finally he tells what is the highest yajna. Then you'll come up with the question, okay, I need a shortcut. Okay, what is the best yajna out there? And what is the best yajna out there? He tells the best yajna out there is called Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna, you can think of it as the mother of all yajnas. And what is Brahma Yajna? Brahma Yajna is the offering of the teachings of Bhagavan. It's also called as Rishi Yajna. What we're doing now is Rishi Yajna. Why Rishi Yajna is the highest? Why Rishi Yajna is called the Brahma Yajna and the mother of all yajnas? Because it is the yajna that brings the wisdom of yajna in other people, about other yajnas. Only when you get the clarity will your attitude change, right? And the change in the clarity, the change in the attitude and the clarity only comes because of Brahma Yajna. Only when the Brahma Yajna happens, people get the wisdom. Then there's a different way to approach life. That wisdom doesn't come without Brahma Yajna. So Brahma Yajna is the highest. Brahma Yajna makes sure all the other yajna happen. You understand? It is because of Brahma Yajna, all the other types of yajnas happen. Without the Brahma Yajna, then there is no real yajna possible. People might do something, but the real yajna bhava is not there. So typically the story is told that is there's a ashram, there's a Swamiji. He's doing yajna. He's doing a fire worship. Then one cat comes and disturbs him. Then he shoos the cat away. Next day again it comes. Then he tells his student, disciple, you please tie that cat. Then he ties the cat. After some time, the Swamiji also dies, the cat also dies. Then his disciple takes over. Then they get all the required things and they're about to start the yajna. Then this person tells, there's no cat. Please bring a cat and tie the cat. Okay? There's no cat, so you have to bring the cat and tie the cat. Without Brahma Yajna, a lot of corruptions start coming into other yajnas. Or understanding of what is, first of all, to understand what is yajna only becomes corrupted without Brahma Yajna. Like how without Brahma Yajna, what is sanyasa, what is grahasthashrama, what is Bhagavan, what is Jiva, what is Paramatma, nothing is understood without Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna is the mother of all. It is because of Brahma Yajna that clarity of all these aspects of life and spirituality is available in the world. Then Krishna tells how to get this wisdom, how to be part of it, how to get this wisdom. he tells there's only one way. That way is shloka number 34. Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnanina tattvadarshinaha. The only way you will get the gnana is tadvidhi, that gnana you will only get pranipatena. You have to find a guru, a master, and you have to surrender to the master. You have to find a guru, not to test the guru, not to test the guru how much this person knows, or not to see, not out of curiosity, what can this person talk, but with the genuine desire to become free, to genuine desire to get what the guru has. Okay? Tadvidhi, pranipatena. And that happens by surrendering to the master. What is the attitude in surrender? That I'm ready to receive. Okay? I'm ready. I'm now available for you to pour. Pranipata. Then pranipata, and it should not be a monologue. The guru goes on talking, you're listening. No. Pariprashnena, Krishna tells you have to ask questions, like how Arjuna is doing now. Krishna is encouraging that. You have to ask questions. You cannot assume that the guru knows, has some special powers to see what is happening in your head and answer all your questions. You have to ask the questions. And what kind of questions? You have to ask the right questions. Okay? Not questions of curiosity or arbitrary questions. Questions focused to your awakening. What is blocking you from understanding you're not the doer? Ask that. Okay? Instead of asking, what should I do? Ask, I still have a notion I'm the doer. Ask questions of what are your blind spots. Pranipatena, pariprashnena. Then the next step is sevaya. You have to ask questions. You have to surrender to the master. You have to do seva. What seva you have to do to the master? You have to understand that master means, there's no individual. The master is Jagat. The master is totality. So the attitude of karma yoga and seva towards the world by doing yajna, that you have to do. And the master will upadesha, give you upadesha. Upadekshanti te gnana. What is upadesha? Upadesha is not a motivational talk. Upadesha is not answering your questions. Upadesha is deep clarity. The master gives deep clarity on reality. The master awakens the insight. That is called upadesha. That's why it's called upadesha. Upadesha means it uplifts your mind and it opens up your insight. Whatever the master tells, it clicks in your head. And that becomes your intuitive knowledge. The tattvamasi that the master gives, it's called paroksha gnana. That paroksha gnana is upadesha. That upadesha becomes aparoksha gnana, aparoksha anubhuti, aparoksha gnana. That is, it becomes your realization. And this way, by upadesha, gnanina tattvadarshinaha, you will have the darshana. You will see the truth for yourself. What I just told us, aparoksha anubhuti. This is the only way. Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnanina tattvadarshinaha. And by doing this, by asking questions, by doing seva. And what is the kind of seva? Krishna earlier tells the attitude of the person who does yajna is this. So there is a yajna typically is a fire worship, no? In the fire worship, they put something into the fire. They put some banana or some rice or some ghee. But the inner attitude is Brahmarpanam. I am offering to whom? Not to the fire. The Brahman. Brahmarpanam. Brahma Havihi. Who is receiving it? The fire is Brahman. My offering is Brahman. Brahmagno Brahmanahutam. The Agni is Brahman. Ahuti. The Ahuti is, what is offered is Brahman. What it becomes because of the contact with fire is also Brahman. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihir, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva, Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Everything is Brahman. The action is Brahman, the doer is Brahman, the offering is Brahman, the fire is Brahman, the what gets offered is also Brahman. And where it goes is also Brahman. So there is nothing apart from Brahman. This is the inner clarity that the Gnani has. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Okay, so I told you this illustration is the explanation for Tadviddi Pranipatena, how this Gnana is got. Without Brahma Yajna, it's not possible. And who does Brahma Yajna? Is a Gnani Guru. So here it tells it should be a Gnani Guru. It should not. So there are two types of Gnanis. There's a Gnani who has realized the truth, and there's a Gnani who has realized the truth but also can teach it. So Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to give an example of a prison. The people escaping the prison, some people just jump, somehow cross over, and they are free. Then there are some people who are free, but they don't leave. They're on the wall. They're sitting on the wall, and whoever is trying to become free, they're helping them. That Sri Ramakrishna tells as Sadguru. Somebody who's free, but not only just free, somebody who's not only liberated, somebody who's not only realized, but also has the ability to teach in a way that you can understand. Okay? To teach in a way that you can understand, to communicate to you. And the most difficult thing is the truth cannot be communicated. Brahman is beyond words. Truth is beyond words. So when Buddha, under the Bodhi tree, the Siddhartha, Prince Siddhartha, he realized that how can this be told to anybody? So he kept quiet. For more than 7 days, he sat silently. Because the truth cannot be told. Okay? Even if it's told, people don't understand it because it cannot be communicated at all. So the job of the master is to communicate something that cannot be communicated. Is to teach something that cannot be taught. Is to awaken something, is to tell you that you are already that. Okay? It's a job of, it's like when people are sleeping, you can wake them up. But if somebody is pretending to sleep, how will you wake them up? So that is the job of the Guru. And that requires it's a different skill. And somebody who has that capability is called a Sadguru. So there's a Gnani, but there's a Gnani who can teach. You understand? So in a very comic way, Bhagavan Osho used to tell. Somebody asked about some other master. Bhagavan Osho said, there are two types of enlightened beings. First one is useful, second one is useless. So the useful one, he or she is able to teach the other. This person becomes a guru, Sadguru. The other person is known as a Mahatma or a saint. So the Mahatma is able to radiate peace and love and probably is able to bless, but is not able to awaken you or destroy the ignorance. For the destruction of ignorance to happen, Upadesha has to happen. Upadesha is a right communication with the teaching has to be communicated. And that's what Bhagavad Gita is. Bhagavad Gita is Upadesha. It is Upanishad. And it is destroying the ignorance of Arjuna. And the last most important shloka I would consider in this chapter is he says after telling Sadviti Pranipatena, he says, and this wisdom is Shraddhavan Labate Gnanam. It's because of your Shraddha. With your Shraddha is your deep focus and deep inner calling for this wisdom that takes you to this wisdom, helps you understand it with the teaching of the Guru. And what happens when you get this wisdom? This wisdom, this Gnanagni, Sarva Karmani, Basmat Kurate Tataha. Okay, Gnanagni, Sarva Karmani, all Sanchita Karma, all ignorance, all programs, all the notion of I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the thinker, I am the body, I am the mind, all this ignorance, Gnanagni Sarva Karmani Bhasmat Kurate Tataha. So you'll ask, okay, I met a master, he gave me Upadesha. What is the benefit of the Gnana? The benefit is Gnanagni Dagda Karmani. It just wipes out and frees you, liberates you from the cycle of karma, the notion of doership, okay, the feeling that I am an individual. You realize I am not what I think I am. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. And you're established in I am pure consciousness. With that, we have covered the 42 shlokas of the chapter number 4. Any doubts? Everybody's gone to sleep?
No, Guruji.
Nope.
Is avatar clear? Avatar consciousness? Is yajna clear? Process of liberation clear? Sanyasa clear?
Yes, Guruji. Guruji, about Yajna, I tried doing that. It was after like previous session, like the last week session. I started applying these things and it was very helpful for me. But after on the second day or third, and I just went back to being how I was before. All the vasanas started coming. The tendencies just ruling, that kind of thing. I was trying to follow all the things that you thought, but somewhere I'm still getting dragged by these tendencies.
Yeah. So who is trying? So one is to understand, I am not the doer. So when I say I am trying, who is trying? Is the question. Who is trying? Okay. Then you say I come back to a habitual pattern. Yeah, of course, because it's the momentum, right? So that's why it said karat abhyas se jadimati ho sujan rasri avajat se silpad padat nishan. Have you heard of this? Karat abhyas se jadimati ho sujan. So it is, you have to cultivate the yajna bhava. You have to again and again fall into karma yoga. As long as you have the doership. Okay, whenever you have the doership, a sense of doership, realize I am not the doer and Lord is doing through me and I'm an instrument. Then focus on gnana. That is satsanga. Satsangatva, nisangatva. So with this, the mind becomes purified and free. So the karma yogi doesn't say, I told you about karma yogi, right? So karma yogi does something. It doesn't say, oh, I'm doing karma yoga. I'm still getting all the negative beliefs. Okay, what the karma yogi will tell? That is also an offering of the Lord. Accept that also. Okay, don't, whenever we talk about karma yogi, we're only focusing on the external result. There's some internal result also, right? That internal also result, be equanimous to it. Because I'm neither if something good comes, good feeling comes, I get attached to it. Neither if some vasana open, I get attached to it. I'm a witness of both. Okay. Then you continue your inquiry. Then you still, let's say, I have doership. Continue your inquiry. Who is doing? Okay. Whenever you're able to reorient and tell, I am not the doer, Lord is doing through me. There is no other way. Do you get it, Kavin?
Yes, Guruji.
What did you understand?
The doership, I am forgetting the doership, as in I just believe that I am doing all this. The sense of I is always that ahankara is there.
Don't worry about the negative, right? You go on doing with the attitude of karma yoga or seva or yajna and have the feeling the Lord is doing, and slowly it will blossom. That's why I said karata karata abhyas. So there is a aspect of a conscious mind and subconscious. Mind is two parts, conscious and subconscious. Okay. So consciously you understood what you've understood. All this theory you've understood consciously. But subconsciously, and which is the stronger force?
Subconscious.
You know how much stronger it is?
In what class you told that's like 10,000 times or something stronger than.
So it is 10 million times faster and stronger than the conscious mind. So that is why most people consciously they'll tell, I won't smoke. Okay. But next day again they'll smoke. Because it's not conscious decision, it's subconscious force, which is stronger. For it to penetrate to the subconscious, it's the for it to penetrate the subconscious is the key. And how will penetrate the subconscious? One is abhyasa, repetition. Another is satsanga. Otherwise, how will the penetrate? How will you know how to drive, right?
Yes, Guruji.
Is driving conscious or subconscious? It's subconscious.
Yes, subconscious.
Consciously, you'll be doing something. You can be talking to somebody or you can be on the phone, but subconsciously your body's doing that. So now can you unlearn driving?
No.
No, it's difficult.
No.
Almost impossible because you've pushed it into the subconscious. Now all your life, you have pushed I am the doer to the subconscious. It is a subconscious programming. And that requires Gnana. Gnana has to burn that. And that will only happen because of this satsanga, Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. So you don't have to feel I am taking one step ahead and two steps back. No. Whenever you feel I took two steps ahead, ask the question, who? Again, you'll go one step ahead. That's the trick. That's where Gnana comes into play. And that's the limitation of action. In action, you can take one step ahead and 10 steps back. But in Gnana, there's only way forward. The only way is upward, forward. When you inquire who, you go forward. You understand?
Yes, Guruji.
Both a combination of Gnana and Yajna. Karata abhyas. But Gnana is not abhyas. Gnana is jump. If the Gnana becomes clear within you, okay, because of the teaching of the Guru, if you become clear, I am not the doer, that is finished. That person is done, over. Like in the creation of Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had a deep experience, okay, of Mother Kali. Then the Totapuri comes, only one interaction. He teaches him, Aham Brahmasmi, you are Brahman. That's all, finished, over. Ramakrishna doesn't fall back again. Okay, if the Gnana becomes clear, it penetrates through the subconscious. And nothing can shake that. It is because it's super conscious. So now third level is come. Conscious, subconscious, superconscious. Superconscious is Atma. It just penetrates and wipes out the subconscious vasana. Some other vasanas might be there. All the vasanas that are blocking your liberation will get wiped out. But some other vasanas might be there, which don't have any relation to doership or anything. Okay, that might remain. That's why we see many gnanis having some sort of habit. Like there was a master called Nisargadatta Maharaj who used to smoke. Okay, or some gnanis have some. They live in a certain way. So that's because of prarabdha. That doesn't need to get wiped out. That doesn't matter. But all the karma that is the blocking the wisdom, that gets shot out. Is it clear?
Yes, Guruji.
So what is the path? Sadhana or gnana?
Both action and dana are required.
What is first?
Dana.
This is gnana. I am not the doer. Have you realized you are not the doer?
Trying to.
Are you the doer? Do you do sadhana?
No, Guru.
Do you do sadhana?
Yeah, I do sadhana. I mean, I am not doing that.
No, if you don't do, if you are not doing, then why the question? The question is coming because I am doing. Now I'm asking, are you doing? Are you really doing? Are you the doer?
No, Guruji.
Are you simply saying no, or are you doing or not?
Like consciously, I know, but when I normally interact with the world, it just takes over. I feel.
What? No, what takes over? Who are you doing? Are you the doer? Can you do? Can you lift your hand?
Yes.
You're a doctor, no? You should know.
Hmm.
Can you lift your hand? If something not working in the body, can you make it happen? For doing anything, body is required, right?
Yes.
And body is a set of, I don't know how many trillion set of simultaneous actions.
Hmm.
Neural movement, blood movement, hormone movement, how many things? We don't even know. Number, if you start putting, we don't know. Now, how much percentage of that trillion, let's say trillion movement, trillion actions are you doing? Percentage.
Less than 1%. Only
Huh?
the muscles we are moving. Rest all is all unconscious.
Muscle also you're moving. For the muscle to move, the neural signal has to go.
Yes.
Which are you doing?
No.
Can muscle move without neural movement? Brain signal?
No.
Which brain signal are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you doing or not brain signal?
Yeah.
You're doing brain signals. You know how many pathways are there in the brain?
No, as in voluntarily I can do it and I can choose not to do it.
That voluntarily I can do it is an illusion. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That voluntary, tell me what voluntary you'll do. Example, give an example of voluntary action.
As in if I have to pick something, I can just say I have to pick it and my body does it.
Come on the video and show me. You're picking something. Pick something now voluntarily. Show me.
Okay.
Pick something.
Okay. Okay. Pick the pen.
You
Yeah.
picked something. Okay. So now
Yeah.
you did that. You picked it.
Yeah, I sent a signal and then yeah, I just picked it.
You send the signal. Okay. From which
No,
neural
as in
shows?
the thought.
Thought you created. So there is thought followed by neural movement, followed by brain activity, followed by muscle activity, followed by the finger gesture. Which out of this you did? Tell me. Please don't forget simultaneously heartbeat, simultaneously breathing, simultaneously existence, simultaneously universe has to exist, gravity has to exist. So many other things also have. So which out of all of this you did? Gravity you did?
No.
Because without gravity, if it was anti-gravity, you could not lift, you would be pulled down, right? Okay, that you didn't do. Thought you did? Okay, if you say I did thought, in the next 3 seconds, think of something. Create a thought. Close your eyes. I'll count to 3, create a thought. At the count of 3, create a thought on your own. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. You created a thought.
Already existing thought, as in, I didn't create any thought, Guruji.
Thought came.
Yeah, it came.
Coming thought is not doing it.
Okay.
Okay, thought came. Okay, neural signal happened on its own, irrespective of you. Muscle movement happened irrespective of you. Finger happened irrespective of you. What did you do?
I was just a witness of all this.
You just said I did it.
Yeah.
So you can't lift a pen. Can you do sadhana?
The body is doing. I'm just a witness of the sadhana.
Who is doing? What are you doing in it?
No.
What are you doing? Who are you in all of this? Where are you? What are you? If you can witness the thought, if you can witness the neural movement, if you can witness the heartbeat, if you can witness the breath, you are none of that. Whatever you can witness, you are not. Is that clear?
Yeah.
What I see, I am not. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So I can witness all of this. I am not this. Then what am I? I am witness.
Yeah.
Witness doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You have never ever done anything in your life. Never can you do also, because you are Atma.
Mm.
Now, if there is a clarity, if there is understanding, what is the question about action? Then what sadhana are you talking about? What question is, your question becomes irrelevant, no? So next time you get the thought, ask who is doing. Inquire, trying to find out who is doing the sadhana. You answer your own question now. What is the question you asked? Ask me the question again.
The doership.
You said
I'm getting involved in the.
sometimes I go back to my old pattern.
Yeah.
Now you ask the question, who is going back to the old pattern?
Yeah. The
Atma is
mind
going
and.
anywhere?
Huh?
Atma is going anywhere?
No.
Atma is a witness.
Yeah.
Okay, Atma is a pure witness.
Mm.
Something is rising, something is falling. Atma is a witness. You've forgotten that. Instead of that, you are engaging in the image. It's like a movie. Somebody is watching a movie, he's worn 3D glasses. And because of the 3D experience, this person has forgotten that he's in a movie theater and is starting engaging with what is happening.
Mm.
Then the person thinks, oh, no, nothing is real. It's just a movie. Nothing is changing. Nothing is affecting you. Whether there is vasana, whether there is no vasana, whether there is sadhana, whether there is no sadhana, nothing is happening to you. That is why there are a group of people called aghoris. Okay, they're worshippers of Shiva. They do sadhana in the crematorium. Okay, in the crematorium, not just in the crematorium, they should find a dead body and they'll sit on the dead body. Okay, and they do sadhana. You know why? And people think, even about aghoris, there's so many fascinations and fantasies. The aghori understands the Shiva, because Shiva is Smashana Vasi. He's called Smashana Vasi. He's in the Smashana. Smashana means what? What is Smashana? Crematorium is where dead bodies are there. In the Shiva consciousness, you see there's no doer. The world is a crematorium. There's nothing here apart from consciousness. Okay. And the Aghori sits on the dead body to tell that this body is dead without consciousness. I am the one who is illuminating it. Okay. And Shiva puts the bhasma, the Aghori puts the ashes. He puts the ashes of whatever is the dead body is burned, he puts the ashes. Is to tell that my nature is detached. Nothing can touch me because nothing is there. There is no doer, there is no sadhana possible. Is to tell that no sadhana is possible because there's no doer. That's why they sit and they show how no sadhana is. How can you show no sadhana? Sadhana you can show. How can you show no sadhana? So they show no sadhana by sitting in the crematorium, sitting on the dead body, is to tell that everything is dead. What are you doing sadhana? The only thing alive is consciousness. You're telling I am doing something. Karma is jada. Okay? Jada means insentient. Now, why are you giving so much importance to jada? Why are you giving so much importance to action? You understand? And doership. And then you tell, oh, I did it. Then you feel guilty. Then I didn't do it right. Or that person is doing 10,000 times japa, is getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and doing sadhana. I am not doing sadhana. Right? Nothing is there. So everything is a dream. Nothing is happening. You cannot do anything if you want because you're Atma. You're a witness. So realize you're a pure witness. Then you become free. Okay? Then when you become free, what happens? You become free. The body is energy, Shakti. Right? It's already Shakti. The Shakti is taking care. So who is creating the thought? Who is creating the neural movement? Who is creating the heartbeat? Who is creating the muscle movement? Is Shakti. It's Adipara Shakti. Now the Shakti becomes free now. Suddenly now all the Shakti is now available for nothing. Earlier it was a slave to your ego. Okay? Slave to vasanas. Okay, Shakti, all these complex high-fundu things are happening. For what? For eating or for some sense pleasure. That divine Shakti is used for stupid things. Now the Shakti suddenly, after Jnana, becomes liberated. She becomes free. And when she becomes free, she's called Kundalini. It's called, now the Shakti moves upward. And that upward movement of the Shakti, it opens up various centers in the brain which are not typically, where there's no typical neural movement pathway. And that is what creates enlightened action. Because that is, so enlightenment has a biological implication. The Gnani, the Shakti of the Gnani is now liberated. That's why now the divine actions start happening, which seems for us to be beyond individual. Okay, maybe the Gnani is able to do transform people, bring peace, the speech, talk in a way that can bring peace, all those things. Simply because that Shakti is now free for these capabilities. It's like you have a very sophisticated machine, robot at the house, but you are making it do all silly things, cleaning the toilet and all those things. But it's capable of probably creating wealth for you. It has the capability to assess all markets. It has high artificial intelligence, right? Think of it like that. Your machine, body mind is such a advanced machine to channel the divine mother to do Loka Kalyana. But you're using it for food, sleep, and sex. You understand? Now, sadhana is, without jnana, is forcefully moving that energy. Okay, sadhana is very, how do I say, crude activity. Because in sadhana, you're starting with the premise that I am the doer and I'm going to force my energy to move in a certain way. I'm going to hold my breath, or I'm going to chant some mantra. I'm going to force my machine to do something. No, force is not the way. With Gnana, you become quiet. Then the energy knows how to move. It'll move. It's that energy which is taking care of your sight and neural movements. We don't even know how many neural pathways are there. You know how many neural pathways are there? More than the number of stars and planets and galaxies in the world. Couple of trillions. Okay, we don't know how to push one signal through one of these. It's like in the movies, no, the guy is trying to cut the bomb. The bomb is going to detonate. There are two wires, red and green. He cutting the right one will save them. Cutting the wrong ones, it will explode. Now imagine there are thousands of wires. Which one you will cut? How in the thousands of pathways, which one you know? How do you know where anger is coming from? How do you know for you to think and take a cohesive decision? That Shakti has to move correctly in your brain, right? That Shakti knows when you become silent, that sadhana will become spontaneous. Okay, that's why Jnana first. I am not the doer. When you're not the doer, whatever you do becomes sadhana. If you walk, talk, sleep, whatever you do becomes sadhana when you're not the doer. That is why there's a beautiful event in Buddha's life. When Buddha, after Jnana, he just used to walk. In the morning, he used to walk, just walk, nothing else. Simply used to walk as a walking. Then after some time, the whole village, whole kingdom used to walk behind him because his walk itself is so peaceful. Then the king of that place donated the whole hill to him. He told, take it, keep it. Okay, build ashram, do whatever you want because you walk. We just want to see you walk. A gnani, whatever he does, that's why there's a beautiful shloka in the praise of Krishna. Adharam maduram, vadanam maduram, nayanam maduram, hasitam maduram, hridayam maduram, gamanam maduram, maduradipate, akhilam maduram. Whatever Krishna does is madhura. If he gives attention to you, it's sweet. Adharam, if he sees, he's sweet. If he eats, he's sweet. If he sleeps, his sleeping is sweet. If he walks, he's sweet. If he talks, he's sweet. Whatever he does is divine. Because there's no doer. Like a child. Whatever the child does is divine. It's joyful. So the only difference between you and child is doership. So drop the doership with Jnana by inquiring it. Then whatever you do becomes sadhana. You understand?
Yes, sir.
My only question is, who told you to do sadhana? I never told you. Did I tell you? I only told, come to the session. Shravana. I didn't say sadhana. I don't know who told you to do sadhana. That too without Jnana. That too without the Jnana, I am not the doer. When you're not the doer, please understand, you just going and practicing whatever you do we practice medicine, right? That itself becomes sadhana. Your study of medicine becomes sadhana. Your interacting with your society will become sadhana. With the clarity that I am not the doer. And that clarity I am not the doer, kaise aayega? Satsanga. Shravana. So if you really want to do sadhana, I would say the only sadhana you should do is Shravana. Listen to the right teaching. That will burn all this wrong notions. So where will you go doing sadhana? Tell me. What is the end result you expect to get? What is the ROI? What is the ROI on sadhana?
Expecting nothing, Guruji. I'm actually not expecting nothing.
If you're expecting nothing, why did you start with asking the question? Why did the question arise? The question arose because your expectation is not met. Right? If the expectation is met, why the question would arise? You get it? So what is that expectation that you have out of sadhana? Some positive feeling I should get, something I should happen, something I should see some light, some power, something I should become peaceful. Some expectation is there, right?
I've experienced something already, so I'm trying to.
There you are. So the expectation out of sadhana is experience, some experience. You understand? But the understanding in life is all experiences are Maya. All of them. Here you are in a situation where where the Master Totapur is telling Ramakrishna Paramahamsa that his experience of Mother Kali, who's actually he's able to see her like how you see me. He's able to see Mother Kali. She's able to give him insights. She's able to talk to him. It's not his hallucination. Please understand. It is the real divine mother appearing to him. But Totapur is telling that is also Maya. When the highest experience possible in the material realm is called Savikalpa Samadhi. Okay, that is what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was having. It's called Savikalpa Samadhi, where it's the experience of the divine. That itself is Maya. Because all experiences are depending on the mind. No mind, no experience. Okay? Reality is beyond experience, beyond the mind. Reality is no mind. That is why it's called Anubhuti, not Anubhava. So the end result of all sadhana is Anubhava, some Anubhava. The Jnana is Anubhuti. You go beyond mind, beyond Anubhava. You realize it is silence of the mind. In silence of the mind, there is no doer, there is no sadhana, there is no God, there is no guru, there is no nothing. There is only yourself, pure self as consciousness. That is where you need to understand the difference between sadhana and gnana. You understand? Yoga and gnana. Karma and gnana. In karma, the ROI always is some experience. Some experience. Material experience, spiritual experience. In gnana, you realize all experiences are false. Right? Where is your spiritual experience when you... So somebody went to Ramana Maharshi and they said, I experience, like how Ramakrishna experiences Mother Kali. I experience Sri Krishna. I see Krishna. He comes to me, he talks to me, he tells me what to do, what not to do. Ramana Maharshi asked him, okay, where is your Krishna when you're deep sleep? When you go into deep sleep, where is that Krishna? The person told, no, he's not there. Then the Ramana Maharshi told, if he's not there in your deep sleep, that means he's Maya. He's not real. Now, in your deep sleep, can you take your ROI, sadhana phala into deep sleep? Can you? You can't. It's like telling I'll take my lottery that I won in my dream to my waking state. You can't. It is unreal. All experiences, please understand, are unreal, including the experience of Savikalpa Samadhi, which is the highest sadhana phala, which is the fulfillment of human life. Itself is Maya. Only Brahman is real, which is yourself, which you are already, which you don't have to do anything to get, which you are already. All you have to do is see it. That's all. Now, with this, what question you have? Was that too harsh on you, Kavin?
No.
Now, continue your sadhana. I'm not discouraging you from doing your sadhana. Do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. But don't think ever that you are the doer. And please understand, all experiences, including spiritual experiences, are part of Maya. It's a mind game. Earlier it was a lower mind. Now it's a higher mind. Still mind. But mukti, that's why in the first session only I told, there are many interpretations of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? But this approach, the approach we're taking is the Vedantic approach. It's the highest. In this approach, I will wipe out everything. no compassion towards any ignorance. Okay, doership is ignorance. With doership, whatever you do is only reinforcing your doership. But with gnana, whatever you do is fine. With gnana, even ordinary things become yoga. With doership, even the most spiritual activity becomes contaminated. Okay, because it passes through the human mind. Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to tell what the moment something passes through the human mind, it becomes yanjil. Yanjil means that saliva. Like you will never eat something that somebody has put in their mouth and then gives you, right? Because it's already touched by their saliva. So that is the ignorance. Whatever the ignorance touches, the doership touches, it converts, it contaminates it. But gnana is like fire. Whatever it touches, it purifies it. Whatever it touches. Even the most unholy place becomes purified because of gnana. That's why the gnani is called Tirthankara. Tirthankara means Tirtham Karoti Tirthani. The one who purifies the place is called Tirthankara. Where the gnani goes, that place becomes holy. Even if he goes to an unholy place, the unholy place becomes holy. Okay? Whereas the human mind, the most holy place it goes, it puts the unholiness in the holy place. Like you see in the Ganga, everybody go into Ganga and to get purified, the Ganga becomes impure. Okay, all taking all the garbage of people. But the Gnani goes, he brings the purity into the Ganga. That's why Gnana, focus on Gnana. As it's called Gnana Agni Dagda Karmani. It burns everything. When I say burns, it purifies everything. Okay, oh, we extended too much. I just saw the time. If there's no other question, we can close the session. Any other doubts? Soumitra, is it clear?
Yes, Krishnaji.
Guruji,
Sorry.
I had a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When Kavin said that, I will pick the pen, and then we understood that, none of it that happened, the neural movement, the muscle movement, everything happened on its own. But I had a doubt that, when he said that I'm going to pick the pen and then the action happened. Suppose the very next moment he had decided that I'm not going to pick the pen, then probably that the entire thing would not have happened. So the action would not have happened, right? So somewhere that the initial thought, probably I felt that he decided.
Okay, the question is about, okay, fine, I don't have any freedom to act, but at least I have freedom to will. Right?
Correct. That was the question.
So there is a scientist called Libet, is known, I guess. He did an experiment to validate the question that you asked. And he found what you call as will, right? The intention.
Yeah.
Before it comes to your conscious mind as intention, before you recognize it as intention.
Yeah.
Couple of seconds before, the body is already sent the signals to act upon that will. Meaning, before he gets the will to pick up the pen or not to pick up the pen, the brain sends the signal to the hand to move in that direction. You understand?
Oh, okay.
That means what you call as free will is also illusion. You think you got the will, but the will came to you. And before the will came, for the will to execute whatever has to happen through the body, that signal has already been sent, and then the will comes. For example, let's say you need to drink water. Okay. Before you get the conscious thought that I need to go and get up and drink water, the brain has already sent the signals for the whole thing to move. You understand? Which you have no clue about.
Yeah.
which Libet captured through a scientific experiment. He was able to capture it and in the machine show that how the brain has already sent a signal before you get the conscious thought to take action. So what you call as my will is not your will. It's all thy will. That's what Jesus said. Thy will be done. Thy kingdom come. There's no my will. There's no such thing as my will.
So, Krishnaji, my question is here that you mean to say that there is no free choice.
There is, in the absolute sense, there is no free will, but there is an apparent free will. There is an appearance of free will. So the example that Ramakrishna gives is, there is a cow that is tied to a pole, okay, and that's left to graze. Now the cow thinks it's absolutely free, but its freedom is only till that rope stretches. You understand? So you have an element of apparent free will with using which you evolve. But in the absolute sense, there is absolutely no free will.
So basically, the debate between here is that either everything is predestined, good, bad, whatever is happening, witness, not witness, doesn't matter. It is all decided. Your thoughts, this session, whatever you are saying, what I am hearing is all pre-decided. And
Yes.
that there is no choice, then there is no good and bad also in the world.
Yes. This
So-
exact same question was asked to Ramana Maharshi. Exact same question. Okay. Ramana Maharshi was explaining the free will. Exact same question the reporter asked. So you're telling that everything is predetermined? You asking, you telling this, me asking the question. Everything is predetermined? Ramana Maharshi said yes. Then the reporter got up and there was a switch there. He switched it off. Light, he switched it off. He asked, was this also predetermined? Ramana Maharshi said yes.
No, but the question here is then what is the whole essence of good karma, bad karma?
Nothing, there's no karma.
We are
So
all in a cyclic nature, right? If I do something good, it is
There's
all
no
accounted to my prarabdha karma and so on, so on, so on. So otherwise, I mean, my karma, which is also bad, is also predetermined then.
there is no, obviously it is. There is no me, there is no my. So I'll give you an example of, so I got the question. Is there, do you want to ask another question or shall I answer this question?
No, I mean, just let me extend it a bit actually. So
Okay.
my point is here, like, for example, if in a way, like in a very ground level here, if we are saying that everything is predetermined,
Yeah.
then everything is justified. Israel attacking on Hamas is justified. Somebody raping somebody is also justified. So then there is no reason, and our existence doesn't make any sense. Why not just, do whatever we have as our inclinations towards, right? If I think that I can kill a chicken and eat it, then why do I need to worry about the scriptures and everything? Everything is predetermined.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so the question is, very good question. So there's a lot of confusion about this, okay? The question is, I'm going to just answer it clearly so that nothing is left open. It'll take at least 10-15 minutes. Is everybody okay?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Guruji.
good.
Yes, Guruji.
Seema,
Guruji.
Anushka, Shanti ji, everybody okay?
Yes.
Yes, Guruji.
Okay, so the question here is, if everything is predetermined, you are telling the teaching is that everything is predetermined, there is no free will, then we see in the world so many things happening. There is good and bad. What about the good and bad in the world? Then what about the cycle of karma? Then how do we then say, then everything in the world becomes justified. Somebody kills somebody, somebody rapes somebody, somebody does some good, somebody does some bad. It's just all predetermined. Nothing, there's no freedom there. It's all predetermined. Then we can just do whatever we want. Then what is the whole point of this studying of the scripture? Then where is the hope? Okay, this is the question. Did I miss out anything in the question? Soumitra, clear?
Yeah, I mean, other than the worldly affairs, I'm just concerned about myself first right now. So why should I even sit in this class if everything is predetermined?
Sure. So why should I even sit in this class? Everything is predetermined. I can do whatever I want. Now, in the absolute sense, So there are two dimensions. One is the Paramarthika, one is the Vyavaharika. Okay. From the absolute point of view, which is called Advaita Vedanta, there is Ajata. It's called Ajatavada. Ajatavada means there is no creation at all. So there is, in that sense, there is no question. Okay. Everything is just a dream. It's in the dream, so many things keep happening. It's happening in the dream. So then if you ask the question there, the answer is it's a dream. It's all a dream. A. Now coming to the specifics. Now that A, to digest that A, to understand that A, the person is very matured, or there is the person has already gone through Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana, Yoga, Sadhana, everything, and then come finally to a master, and the master tells Tattvamasi, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, over. There is no will, there is no doer, there is no you, there is no me, there is only consciousness. Okay, that is the highest teaching, Advaita Vedanta. It is a final teaching. Now, most of us are not able to reconcile that. Okay, the reconciliation happen provided you have matured internally, you're blossomed inside internally to receive that. But ordinarily, all of us, there's a reconciliation needed. So now you ask the question, if everything is predetermined, why should I sit in the class? Okay. Now, whether you sit in the class or not sit in the class, both are predetermined. It is not your choice. Let's say you did not have a choice not to come to today's class, and you did not have a choice to come to other sessions that you missed. You understand? Your only life is being lived through you, and you're only executing that. So the program got triggered for you to come to this class, and you came. And you didn't trigger the program. It happened. Then a program got triggered for you not to come to the class, maybe the previous class or the next class. Then you will not come. You understand? The action, you're only seeing the action, but you're not seeing the trigger. The trigger is deeper programs, which are adrishta. Adrishta means they're not seen. Okay? Drishta is action. You're able to see the action. The cause, the fuel of the action, you're not able to see. And the fuel is always a past momentum. So the example I'll give is individually for you first, then I'll come to the society part. In a Vyashti, so there's Vyashti and Samashti. First, we'll talk about the individual, then Samashti, so society. Vyashti, so in the Mahabharata war, after the war, the Dhritarashtra goes to Krishna. He tells Krishna, hey Krishna, you killed all my sons. You got all my sons killed. You destroyed my family. How could you do that? How could you cause such a horrible thing? Krishna tells, I didn't do anything. Okay? Neither did Arjuna do anything. Neither did anybody do anything. It was your own karma coming back to you. So he tells, 10 lifetimes before Dhritarashtra, 10 lifetimes before, he was a hunter. And he was a very cruel person. What he did was, there was a tree with birds, a lot of birds, the two mother and father bird, and there were hundreds of other birds, children birds. And this hunter, for joy, he put fire and he watched the whole thing burn. And in the process, the mother and father bird got blind and all their children died. Then they cursed this hunter to experience the same thing. Then 10 lifetimes later, you are experiencing this, is what Krishna tells. Then Dhritarashtra tells, what nonsense. It happened 10 lifetimes ago. Why is it coming back now? Krishna tells, you had done some bad karma. Okay? To experience the bad karma, you had to get you have to do good karma, because to get one child, you have to do a lot of good karma. To get 2 children, you have to do a lot of good karma. To get 100 boys, men as children, you have to do very lot of yajna, good karma. So you took 10 lifetimes to accumulate good karma. And why did you do good karma? Not because of your force, your intention. The force of the bad karma to fulfill itself force you to do good karma so that it can come back to you as account settling. So when the good karma, you earn 10, 100 children, the moment you earn 100 children, the bad karma got triggered. You understood? So individually, whatever you do, whatever, including you're sitting here listening to me, it is your prarabdha.
One question, sorry, here, Krishna.
Okay, go ahead.
On the story you told about this, yeah, about the enjoyment he did and he burned that was his free will, right?
That was also predetermined. Yes.
Okay. So good, bad, everything is predetermined.
Everything is that's why it's called Ananta karmic cycle. So many unconscious things you have done, programs after programs after program. What program is operating, you don't know, because it's not programmed for life.
But then we should not take a judgment about good and bad. Then why did the Parmeshwar, Ishwar, or God give us that intellectual to make a judgment about good and bad? It is just
That is also another program. That is also another program. Your judgment of good is bad, you have no choice. You will make a judgment. Like the soldier will make a judgment that this is bad. The terrorist will make a judgment, this is good. Both will make a judgment and both will execute their vasanas. The terrorist has a vasana. He has a vasana, some vasana to rule and express. The soldier has some vasana. Okay, both have some notions of good and bad. Both of them will be fulfilled. Both of them are programmed. Your what question about good and bad is again see ultimately what is good and bad. What do you think is good and bad? It's your from your limited programs, you're trying to understand what is good and bad. How do you know what is good and bad? Give me an example of good and bad. Can you give me an example? You keep using the words, no? They're all empty words. What does it mean? What is good? Tell me what is good.
Whatever gives you bliss, whatever gives you, let's say, happiness is good. I mean, in a very gross way. I'm just saying that. I mean,
Smoking gives me happiness. Is it good?
No, but it hurts your lungs. You're not able to understand it, right? So
then is it good or not?
No, it's bad.
So then the statement that you made, whatever gives me happiness is good, is false.
No, that is a vyasan. That is an addiction. So there are different things, right? I mean, if doing a good exercise is going to be helpful for your body, it is good.
But doing a good exercise when you have COVID, is it good?
No, but the context has changed here, right, Guruji?
So tell that no, conditions apply everywhere. So good and bad is always conditions apply. It's always contextual. Always, there's no such thing as good or there's no such, it's all the conditions apply. Correct?
Yep.
Now the conditions, who's applying? Who's applying the condition? There are two people who are applying the condition. One is, there is a society that is applying a condition. Then your own conditioned mind is applying a condition. Okay? So forget about the discussion. Truthfully, you tell me, truthfully, that if something is really good for the society, but it is horrible for you, torture for you, will you go through with it?
Yes.
Yes. That answer, yes. Why yes?
Because if it is helping others, but if I have to suffer for it, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm programmed that way.
Yeah. So that yes, right? That yes is beyond good and bad. That is called dharma. That is what Sri Rama did. It was very great suffering for him to send Sita, to take that action. But it was the good for the society. So there is good and bad. Then there is dharma and adharma. Okay. Now, what is dharma? What is adharma? To understand requires wisdom, which is beyond good and bad. What you colloquially call as good and bad is actually all programs. Okay. Something that is you think is good might not be really good. Something that you think is bad might not be really bad, or might be also. We don't know. So, but we make generalized statement. We generically say this is good and this is bad. without even looking at what it really entails. Now, I'm telling most of the time, whenever people move in a direction, they're moving unconsciously through programs. Their idea of good, their idea of bad, their idea of world, their idea of God, their idea of me. First, you told the question, you asked the question, forget about the world, talk about me. Now, if I ask you to define me, that itself you don't know. I'll tell you, you told, right? You asked the question, let's not talk about the society first. I'm asking personally for me. Can you define who is that me? That me itself is a bunch of programs. What you think is me, you think I'm a man, I'm Saumitra, I'm the son of this mother and father, I am this nationality, this religion. All you're a bundle of the. Is that me?
No.
No. If that is not me, then first you should find out who is me before finding out the answer to this question. You understand? So, what is me is a program. Whatever comes out of me into my mind is a program. Now, in this bundle of programs, when I say program, I'll equate it to dream. Okay, it's a dream and it's a program. Now, in this bundle and layers of programming and dream, how can I for sure tell what is good, what is bad? How can I tell I am doing something at the individual level? Now, same thing applied to society. Society, you ask the question in the society, there are so many people doing war, there's some war happening. Do they have a choice? Of course, they don't have a choice. Right? The inner instinct is there's no choice. The tiger has no choice. The tiger, you can't go and tell the tiger it's wrong to become a vegetarian. It is the nature of the tiger. And you can't tell the deer to take up arms and fight against the tiger. It's not in its nature. So in nature, there is a predator and there's a prey. Okay? They will fulfill their inner programs. Whatever the tiger is programmed to, it will do. Whatever the deer is programmed to, it will do. Until a time when they'll swap the roles. Okay, that's how it goes on. Unconsciously, it goes on and on and on. This play of good and evil goes on and on and on. The one that is good will be on top, or the predator will be on top, the prey will be like that, will keep on going until some conscious direction changes. That conscious direction will liberate the individual from this unconscious pattern. That is what mukti is all about. Mukti is about asking these questions that you're asking, which is the right question that you're asking. The asked question is, after asking the question, you have to realize that yes, it is all predetermined. Then you ask the question, how do I get out of this? You ask the question about myself. I want to just know for myself, why am I sitting in this class? Find out what other option is there. Find out what is you. Find out what programs are running. Can you find out? Is it possible? Tell me, Soumitra. Without coming in touch with a master, somebody who's blind, can the blind person ever understand the color red? Can the blind person ever understand color red?
Mm-hmm.
Only when some operation is done and the eyes are open, then he doesn't need to understand. Then he'll see the red. Right? So until you come to the point of understanding who is me, who am I, then how can you come out of this? Then you will only live with your programs, no? Only when you become free, step out of your programs and see yourself without programs, and then say, hey, yeah, this is me without programs. Then you can again enter the program and with the knowledge that who is me, and then you can interact. Right now, whatever thought comes in your mind is still only program telling. Okay, but fortunately for you, you have a program to listen to this teaching. That is also another program. That's called grace. Fortunately for you, people, so there's something called, there are two forces. The force of gravity, force of grace. The force of gravity always pulls you down. That is what is called vasana, programs. It constantly keeps you down. Fortunately, for whatever reason, we don't know what reason, Krishna tells Bahunam Janmanamante Gnanavan Mam Prapadati. After billions and billions of lifetimes. Why, how, we don't know. Fortunately, some grace dawns. That grace will liberate you from this unconscious living. Why that happens, we don't know. But when it happens, it's a good thing. Now, when I say good thing, in the true sense of the word good, this is good because you have become free from the program. It is called Shubh or Shreyas. In Sanskrit, English word good is very like arbitrary. It has many meanings, contextual meaning. The word for good in Sanskrit is called Shreyas. So Shreyas and Prayas. Bad is Prayas, good is Shreyas. Shreyas means that which uplifts you and brings a conscious moment, frees you from programs. Prayas is, it pulls you down, okay, keeps you in the same program. So that way, grace is, this Gnana, Shravana, Satsanga is Prayas, Shreyas. Absence of Shreyas is Prayas. Absence of Satsanga is Prayas. You're again in the Matrix. Have you seen the movie Matrix?
Oh, yes.
So whatever question you ask, you're asking within the Matrix. It doesn't have any answer. Any answer that I give is within the Matrix. The only real answer is you have to come out of the Matrix. And you don't even know that you're in the Matrix. How will you come out of it? That's why it's called grace. The Guru has to pull you out. Like the Morpheus goes and pulls him out. Then he sees, oh, then he understands what is the Matrix. Otherwise, you're only trying to understand the reality with the mind, which is impossible. Reality is beyond the mind.
Yeah,
and
I mean, coming out of the Matrix, even we will have to fight our demons inside us, right? Like Agent Smith in this case, for example, like our vasanas, our egos, our perceptions, and everything. Because coming out of the Matrix is not going to be that straightforward.
That is that a programming or is that reality? That is a programming of the Matrix, which is programmed into you that coming out of the Matrix is difficult because of all your TV serials and Puranas and stories and so many people talking about it. Or that Rishi did 10,000 years of tapasya, then the anthill grew on him, then God came in front of him and give. That is all another layer of programming. Please understand. To tell you really, this there was a Gnani called Bodhidharma who took Buddhism from India to China. He had a Chinese king. The Chinese king told, I have built a lot, I'll build so many Buddhist temples and all that. Will I get good merit? Bodhidharma told, you will not get anything because everything is a dream. Then the king asked, oh, then what about Buddha? He recollected 500 lifetimes. In 500 lifetimes, he was doing so many things and he did sadhana and all that. Bodhidharma told, all that was a dream. Okay, that is the power of Gnana. Okay, your notion that enlightenment is difficult. First of all, you don't know what is enlightenment. It's another program. Okay, then to get enlightenment, it's so difficult. That's another program. That is why that is why Guru is important. Guru will tell no, because for Guru, enlightenment is not concept; it's real right now. And from the Guru's perspective, you are already that. Not perspective. From the Guru's, for the Guru, you're already that. That is why people awaken immediately in front of the real master. Now, what do you tell about these people who awaken in front of the master without doing any sadhana, without even knowing what is spirituality, what is enlightenment? Isn't that breaking your concept of matrix? According to the matrix, you are not eligible for enlightenment. Because the basic criteria for eligibility of enlightenment is Shama, Dhamma, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mokshatva. According to the matrix. Right? Which do you have? Shama, Dhamma, Titiksha, Uparati. You don't even know the meaning of them. Okay, so that's all Maya. It's all because of our TV serials, our stories that we have heard. Another programming comes in. For to get enlightenment, it's not so easy. First of all, it's not easy. It's not going to happen in Kali Yuga. I have to be born in Satya Yuga. People have all such concepts. I have to leave the home. I have to. It can't happen in city. Dublin, though, it can definitely not happen. It can't happen to women. It can't happen to this young men. You have to be old, 60-year-old to get enlightened. Right? All these concepts are matrix. So again, to go back to the core discussion, when you're in the matrix, you don't know you're in the matrix. Okay? You are just a robot. You're practically a robot. Whatever program has been programmed into you, you do that. Then there's also a program to tell that whatever you say, do, think, to tell that you're doing it. That's another program. There are two programs. Program to do something, then a program to immediately take doership of that, what you have done. Okay. Now, Jnana will remove that program, will remove the virus of I am the doer. Second, it will, because it removes the doership, the individuality, you realize that you are not, there's no individual, there's only divine. Then all that program, the program of action, will become divine programs. Zero program is not possible. Zero program is like computer. You switch on the computer, the zero program, there's no computer function. Zero program is called complete dissolution. It's called absolute dissolution, where the body also dissolves. As long as the body is there, some program will be there. Okay? But those programs get converted. They become divine. And all the garbage programs, especially the doership, thinkership, enjoyership, individuality, identity will disappear. So I told you, level 1, absolute level, absolutely there's no free will. Yes. Okay. Paramarthika sense, there is no creation, there's no free will, there's no will, there's nothing. Then I have a sense, I feel, okay, that's what you're telling, but I feel a sense of doership and free will. Now, as long as you have a sense of doership and free will, the path is prescribed is Karma Yoga. So what does Karma Yoga do? Karma Yoga is, think of it like brushing your teeth. Okay? By brushing your teeth, something good will happen. Nothing good will happen. But it will prevent, hopefully prevent bad happening. If you don't brush your teeth, definitely bad will happen. You understand? If you brush your teeth, there's a possibility of avoiding the bad. But if you don't brush your teeth, there's a certainty of bad. Okay? So Karma Yoga is that. Karma Yoga is you have a sense of doership. Okay? You have a sense of individuality. Then do Karma Yoga. By doing Karma Yoga, something good will happen, may or may not. But at least bad will not happen. Okay? And when should I do it? Like brushing every day. There's no choice because you cannot escape action. You will do action. You can just convert that action into Karma Yoga with the Jnana. Then understand, approach a master, a realized master, and seek the teaching and understand who I am. Because all these questions are coming, ultimately it's I have the problem, right? For whom is the problem? Find that out and become free. Then the society is like the jungle. There is duality in the society. Society is always filled with good, bad, up, down, market, loss, profit, everything. Okay, it's a mixture. And it'll always be there. But you will be able to navigate through that harmoniously and peacefully. That's all is life. Don't think spirituality, you will go and stop, you will understand what is good and bad, and you will go and change the mindset of Hamas and Israel and bring peace. It will never happen. Krishna himself could not do it. Okay? No Gnani can solve the problems of the world. The world will always have because it's program. Individual program only creates so many problems. Now imagine society programs. Imagine a society where a 3-year-old child or 2-year-old child is programmed with a gun in the hand to kill the non-believer. Can you change that? It's as good as trying to change yourself to unlearn driving. It's impossible, almost impossible. right? So at the society level, for that, whatever solution is required, there's another corollary to that. Somebody with another program to protect the his country or society will engage, right? All these at the society level, all these things keep happening. The only thing that matters to you is first you become free, realize yourself, you become free, and get resolution to all these questions. Is there free will? Who am I? Who is the doer? And understand Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. And whatever you see is a appearance, it's a dream, exactly like a dream. Okay? Like in your dream last night, let's say something happened in the dream. Somebody in front of you, you were sitting in a restaurant in Paris. Somebody walked in and shot everybody. When you wake up from the dream, do you have a question why that happened? Soumitra?
Yeah, I do have a question. I mean, yeah.
You have a question.
When I see some things in dreams, I definitely have a question towards it.
You might have a question, what does the dream mean? But
Yeah.
do you question, oh, where are those poor people who died? What are the children crying? Do you question that?
No.
You know, it's a dream.
Yeah.
Same thing with the waking world. Please don't think the waking world is real. It's exactly like a dream. And there is a possibility to wake up from this. And the only way to wake up from this is Jnana. Now, when I say the only way to wake up from this Jnana, you will tell, oh, that's another program. Okay? Find out then. Find out a way. If there's a way.
I want to meet the programmer actually.
I will show you right now. No, you want to meet the programmer?
Yeah.
You know who's the programmer?
Ourself.
Who's ourself? So many selves. Who's this ourself?
The collective consciousness.
That is another dream. So it's like you telling in the dream, the collective consciousness is there. Does it make any sense when you wake up? Is there a collective consciousness? That whole collective universe was a dream. What consciousness was there? Only one.
Yeah.
So you want to meet the programmer, find out who wants to meet the programmer. Programmer is still secondary. There's somebody who's seeking, to meet. I want. Who is that I who wants?
Mhm.
Who wants? If you tell me who wants to meet, I'll set up the meeting. Program is still secondary. Tell me who wants to meet.
The program.
That's another program, maybe.
Program is unreal.
Yeah, another program.
Can the program ever
Another program that is seeking to meet.
Can an insentient program is insentient? Can an insentient ever know sentience? Can the computer ever know you? Impossible. But are you a program or are you?
But this is infinite, right? I mean, we can keep on asking who is you, who is you, who is programmer. There are no answers to this. Neither the programmer knows who created the program, neither the program knows who is the programmer. And we can continue getting confused in this whole delusion ultimately.
That is where the correction comes in. It is not called infinite. It's called anta. It's called Veda anta. Veda means knowledge. Anta means end. Is there an end? Yes. It's called Veda anta. There's an end. It's not that it's an infinite loop. When you inquire who am I? Who am I? Who's asking the question? It's not infinite. If you really inquire, and that's a method of inquiry also. Okay. And it's not it's called the direct path. Direct path is inquiry. When you really inquire who am I, the mind throws up some answers. Okay. Then you persist. Question, no, this is not me. You reject it. It's called neti neti. You reject, no, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. And please understand, all these are very internal, personal, truthful. You have to be truthful to yourself. Okay. You reject, I am not the body, based on the teaching of the Shastra and the Guru. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the identity. Then there'll come a point when the thief is caught, like the police interrogating the thief called mind, which is a bundle of program. Who has the program is mind, not the self. Self doesn't have program. Mind has a program. The mind becomes silent. The equivalent example for that is your deep sleep. In your deep sleep, do you have all these questions?
No.
No. The deep, because in the deep sleep, you are with the self. You're with the program. In the deep sleep, you're not with the program. You're not in the matrix. There is no matrix. In the deep sleep, you and the programmer are one. Okay? You're one with the program. And that same thing will happen in the waking state, and also will trickle down to the deep sleep state and all the other states, that being one with the program, being free from being a witness to the programs. The only difference between waking and deep sleep, when you are free from the program, it's called sahaja samadhi. When you inquire, who am I, it leads to sahaja samadhi, where you don't get an answer to who am I. You will intuitively see that the I, what I all this while I've been telling I, is not real. Okay? Then that which is real, which is your true self, which you experience in the deep sleep, or not experience, which you know in the deep sleep, will illumine in the waking. And that's called Sahaja Samadhi. And that Sahaja Samadhi is a state of liberation with the eyes open or eyes closed, program, no program, is your reality. That's called Brahman or Brahma Satya, pure consciousness. And then you will continue to interact with the world because the body has some programs, knowing very well that it's all body's program. Body has some disease. You'll never say I have disease. You'll know body has some disease. Very similar to like an actor. Like an actor is playing a role in the movie, knowing very well it's a movie. And that is called enlightenment. Is it clear? The mind, see, please understand, all these are games of the mind. The mind will become tranquil with Jnana. And please understand, Jnana is not just somebody teaching you something. It is reconciliation of all these fundamental questions of life. Of what is life? Why am I here? Who am I? Why is this suffering? There's a deep resolution. Okay, when it's resolved, you will know it. Nobody has to tell you. Like, I can't go on convincing you. I gave you the right answer. I gave you the right answer. Okay, but when there's a internal resolution, right? Your mind just becomes tranquil. Okay, then nobody has to tell you. That is your own pramana. It's called Atma Pramana. You don't need somebody else's seal for that. When you are awakened, you know you are awakened. Nobody has to come and give you seal. Okay, you will know it intuitively. You will know, this is it. This is life. This is what death is. Then you will be able to answer the questions. So you're going on the right track. The only input I will give is inquire. Who am I? Sincerely inquire. Who wants to know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you go on chakkar of the program. The program will take you to one program, to another program, another program, another program. So your intention should be, I need to first come out of these programs. So in the presence of a really qualified Sadguru, the mind becomes silent effortlessly. The programs of the mind, in the presence of the master, the mind just shuts down. No programs arise. Okay? Then you ask your deep questions and find resolution. The Guru will be able to resolve them by aligning it to the truth. What truth? I told you. Paramarthika, Vyavaharika. This brings a clarity about the whole picture. Aham and idam. And finally, there is no escaping the process of self-inquiry.
Yeah.
Find out who is Saumitra. Who is the one who is suffering? That's the only way to end suffering, to find out who is the one who is suffering. Then you'll come to find out that there is nobody who's suffering. It's all a game of the mind. Because when the mind is silent, there's no suffering. The movement of the mind is suffering. In your deep sleep, there's no suffering. There's no world, there's no body. That same deep sleep experience, intuition, you will get in the waking state, and that is called enlightenment. Then that becomes deep, very deep. It penetrates to the not only conscious, it goes deep into subconscious. It's called liberation. Then with the eyes open, you don't need samadhi then. You don't need sadhana, nothing is required. Talking, walking, reading, interacting with the world, working, you are liberated. Is the free will clear, Saumitra?
Yeah.
Anita, is it clear? It's too heavy?
No, Guruji.
Yes.
सीमा जी, any
Yes,
question?
yes. हाँ.
फ्री विल है आपको?
Sorry?
फ्री विल है आपको?
हाँ.
हाँ, फ्री विल है. अरे इतना सारा बता दिया, रामायण, और अभी आप बोल रहे हैं राम सीता को.
नहीं. I didn't get it. Sorry.
Do you have free will?
Feel.
Free will.
Free will. Oh, free will. No.
No. Do you have a choice not to say no after listening to it?
No, it's all God wish. God is helping to answer me.
So Beena, Saumitra, you asked the question. Is it clear? Answer?
Yeah, like after you gave the example, I think it became more clear. Like when you gave the example of me having the choice to attend the class or not coming to, that was also, I think it is like past momentum. Like the previous session I missed. Am I
Okay.
audible?
So yeah, so Saumitra, I'll give you the final answer, final path, final way. Okay, whether you attend the class, next class, or no class, doesn't matter. There's nothing beyond this final teaching. Okay, if you really want to find out the truth, you really want to know, if you really want to awaken, the best thing you can do is just become a witness of the mind. Okay, just say the mind, never get involved in the mind. Let the mind do whatever. Okay, what you'll do, you'll tell, oh, the mind will come up with some criminal activities. Let it do it. It'll also come up with the fear of going to prison. Okay, so don't bother. Just sit silently, close your eyes, and become the witness of the mind. Let it throw whatever it wants to throw. Okay, it'll try to pull you, engage you. Be a witness. Say, I am not the mind. And what is the mind? Thought, feeling, program, emotion. Because I see the thought, I am not the thought. I see the feeling, I am not the feeling. I see the emotion, I am not the emotion. I see I can become aware of the program as the deep rooted belief system. I am not the belief system. And all the thought, feeling, program, belief, emotion are Maya. It's not me. Because I am existing without it. Like in deep sleep. In deep sleep, nothing is there, but still I am there. And I'm peaceful without it. So in the waking state, become a witness of the mind.
Right.
That's all. Just say, these questions are not my questions. Right now, you're giving too much importance to the mind. And whatever you pay attention to, that will grow. The principle of life is whatever you pay attention to will grow. Pay attention to that which is beyond the mind. To give you a very crude example, very objective example, you see this, right?
Yeah.
So here there are black and white fonts. Okay. What is there beyond it? Just the white paper.
Yeah.
So your entire life, you're habituated to read the black and white, not see the gap between them, not the background. Okay. So when you close your eyes and think of the whatever thought, feeling, emotion come, that's like the writing, black and white writing. Okay. Now where that is appearing is awareness, is the background. Stop paying attention to the literature and start paying attention to the background. The background is you. The background is Tat. The background is Bhagwan. Okay?
Yeah.
That's all. There's nothing beyond this. Just do this and you'll be free. There's nothing more. What more is there than this? Become witness of the mind. You're not the mind. With the understanding that I'm not the mind, I'm the witness of the mind. The mind is an appearance in me. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, shall we close for the day? Took a long time today. Thank you all for patiently joining in and listening through.
No, thanks to you. Thanks for your patience and thanks for your guidance always. I think, yeah, we are grateful to
I
you.
don't have a choice, please understand. You think I have a choice not to be patient? My guru has programmed into me that the teaching has to flow. The Ganga keeps flowing. What can I do? I don't have any choice.
We are lucky.
Okay, so in the next, so I had made a mistake of putting on the group 7th December, thinking that it's Sunday. The next session is on Sunday, 10th December. Okay. 10th December, next Sunday, we'll take up chapter number 5, Sanyasa Yoga. And after that, the next session will be in Ireland in 31st December. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Shantiji,
Thank you.
makes sense?
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Guruji. Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.